So close. Hey, everybody. How's things going?
Good.
Good.
Good. Right on time.
Right on time. Week 2 of Pro League, Cargill Division. We have the week that has the 3 matches this week. I know in the home hardware there's 4 matches going on. We'll just bring it up here. Tim, do you want to just go over who's playing today?
Yeah, for sure. So for the Cargill division, we have Carnage versus the Bombers, the reigning champs. Bombers versus the Eclipse, and then the Eclipse versus Carnage. And then for the Schwartz home building division, there might be a little bit of hangover from the Holy Rollers, but they're playing the Caribou from Williams Lake, and really excited to see them again. We have the Rock and Rollers from Newfoundland facing Fraser Valley Venom, so they're making their debut. And the mixture of a new team this year, the Trash Pandas versus Lumberjacks, and then the Caribou versus Lumberjacks. Sorry, Caribou versus the Trash Pandas on the last and final one.
Amazing. So this is the first week that we're seeing the Calgary Carnage coming out. Bombers had a match last week.
No. Eclipse did.
Oh, the Eclipse did. That's right. Yeah. I was commentating it. You'd think I would know that, but
you're too busy doing the tech side of things. You're losing your train of thought there.
That's right. My first try at this, so we'll see how it goes today. But hopefully, we'll be able to hold down the fort and make it happen. Any early predictions of the day?
I don't know. It'll be tough to see the first matchups for the Bombers, defending champs. Always exciting to see them back. I'm sure they have high expectations and they want to get off to a good start. Calgary's got a lot of different, or a couple different players, I believe, right, on their team. So it'll be exciting to see some new faces and some new blood on that team. And I'm sure, I don't believe they made the playoffs last year, so they're probably everybody's trying to get to a good start, right? The 11-week season. The first couple games are huge, right? You don't want to start scrambling to try to get there. So, and even the Eclipse, they had a couple games last week, so they're going to have 4 games in nice and early in the first 2 weeks. So I think they split their first 2 last week. So again, they're behind the 8 ball here, and I'm sure they want to get a couple wins. So it's just like baseball, right? First couple months of the season, those wins are just as important as the wins in October kind of thing. So it's or September, I guess. So it'll be fun to see.
Yeah. So Dobbs is in now, Derek Dobbs for Carnage, and he's brand new, and they have a new coach, Jeff Wilson. So they see the different dynamic when that comes to that aspect. Obviously, the Bombers, I think they have the most pressure in all of them because they're the reigning champions, right? They have to do back-to-backs. Nothing like more pressure, right? So
there's a lot of pressure when you've won a title.
And we had to have a couple dream crushers on the commentary for these guys too, right? So it's
you know what? It's nothing. We're unbiased, right? And I couldn't wish them the best, and they're probably the best team in the league besides Next Gen, right? So just got to keep boosting up pumping up their tires. And Eclipse, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, we all love each other. Thursday night, we had some Bombers and some Dream Crushers and then one average pro all bowling on the same lane on Thursday night, and it was heated.
Yeah.
On the lane.
The joys of the pro league, it adds that extra dynamic in your regular league nights kind of thing, right? A little bit chirping going on, stuff like that. So it's always fun.
It works out really well. So I'm excited to see what the matches are going to be like, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, why don't we bring in our managers? So over from the Bombers, we have Lynn Howell and the new coach of the Carnage, Jeff Wilson.
Is that the trophy right there? Is that a flex or what?
That's a reflection of my head.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize this was here.
Oh yeah. There we go. Love it.
How you doing, Jeff? Well, he doesn't want to talk to me.
Can you hear us?
We got some sound problems with Jeff, it sounds like. So Lynn, yes. defending champs, coming back week 1 or week 2, but your first couple games today.
Right.
What's the mindset? I think there's been a couple changes as well. I think on the ladies' side with losing Annette and then bringing in, who are you bringing in again?
Bonnie Olsen.
Bonnie Olsen. So obviously a great pickup there. Yeah, but other than that, everything is pretty status quo, right?
I think so. Yeah, we got 7 of the 8 are the same. And just before we move on, I just want to say out loud how much we appreciated Annette last year in the team. I know she struggled a little bit with surgeries and injuries, and she might not have thought her scores were where she wanted them to be, but in the games that we really needed her, she played really well and was a really big part of the team, and we're going to miss her. And she says she's done bowling, so we wish her good luck. And she has a lot of accomplishments over the years to be proud of. She's a great person and a great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, the Campbell family's obviously been a big part of the Edmonton 5-pin scene for a long time, and I'm sure they'll continue to be. So
Yep.
we wish all the best to Annette, obviously, and
Yep.
and it'll be fun to see the changes.
Yep.
Do we have Jeff back in yet, or?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, how's the
There we
Carnage,
go.
Jeff?
We're feeling good. It's kind of the team similar to last year, but some changes definitely with me coming in and then Derek joining the team as well. So we're excited. Good energy this morning. So I'm looking forward to getting started.
Amazing.
Yep.
Who's our home team today?
Tech side was supposed to have that ready.
Bomber. Is it the right side or the left side? I think Bombers are the home team today. So Carnage, do you have a lineup for us?
We do. So we're going to we got a little bit of a luxury here today. We've got all 8 of us are here, but so we're going to start with Brad, Derek, Tracy, Rob, and then Kelsey, and then we're going to have Curtis and Carrie coming off the bench here.
Amazing. And Lynn, what are you guys doing for your lineup?
We've got Steve Cummings, and then we've got Aaron Arndt, and then we've got DB, and then we've got Heidi and Johnny, and we have Sean Heller on the bench. Bonnie and Lefty, Adam Kemper, they're not here today.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think other than that, good luck to both of you.
Yep,
Looking
thanks.
forward to be a
Good.
good match.
Good luck, Jeff. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Lynn. Good luck.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
We will talk to you guys after the match.
Sounds good.
I'll
Do
get
we-
it.
Do we have a roster slides for each team?
We do, yes. So
Sweet.
the Bombers team here.
I'll do the Bombers. So the roster for the Bombers got Daryl Bradley, Mark Johnstone, Steve Cummings, Heidi Mapstone, Sean Heller, Adam Kemp, who's not there, Aaron Arndt, and Bonnie Olson, who's also not available today, with their coach manager Lynn Howell bowling out of Sherwood Bowl.
All right. And Tim, do you want to talk us through
Yeah.
the Carnage?
Yeah, we have Curtis Kaplan, Kelsey Wilton, Tracy Smith, Brad Wilton, Bobby Kite, Rob Wolfson, Derek Dobbs, Kerry Schneider. Manager coach is Jeff Wilson, and they're going to be bowling out a Toppler Bowl today.
Amazing. Wow. Look at that. I got it, guys. We are ready.
Here we go, game 1.
Game 1.
Yep. Road to the back-to-backs, right?
Begins. You got to start somewhere, right?
Yep.
So is that the lineup there for Carnage? I don't think that's the right lineup up there, is it? Or
Brad
Maybe
at the
shift one.
top. I think
Derek.
that might be it. He rattled it off so fast that I just.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out, to be honest with you. I don't know. There's something about Jeff's voice, but I just zoned it out.
The Bombers lineup seems pretty status quo from last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think Steve was kind of leading off a lot of games. Mark at the bottom, and kind of Heidi even in the 4 spot. I think was a pretty common thing to see. I believe in the playoff run that they had.
For sure. And, at some points, Daryl was up at the lead. I think one point, and I think he played anchor at one point too. But usually it's Steve leading, and it's usually Johnstone in the bottom.
That's awesome. Boys coming out blazing here. The guns blazing. Got a couple strikes for the leadoff bowlers. So, how's Aaron feeling? I know Aaron's had some. Was he kind of like injured or something like that late last year? Or
yeah, so I was fortunate enough to coach him at Nationals, and his knee was kind of causing him some issues.
Mm-hmm.
So he put some weight on it. It kind of gave out on him. Actually, the Open Provincials didn't play the last 3 games because thankfully we had a decent amount enough lead that he didn't have to play. So, but he played ball with us all summer, so ball was fine. And so if he hurts himself during bowling, well, there's no excuse, I think, right, Katie?
Yeah, he only missed, he only sat on the bench one game, I think, during our ball league.
Yeah, and he decided he wanted to play right field instead of center. But the problem with Aaron, he's like Kevin Pillar. He dives at every ball. So he's never really on his feet anyways, right? So but yeah, so Aaron, I think Aaron's back to normal.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Tracy there with a right corner miss. After Derek, his first ball in the pro league is a strike, so might want to pull him. He's got 100% average right now, and got to keep that up.
I'll pull up some stats here.
You have stats, Tim? You came in prepared?
I always come prepared.
Oh.
But
it was nice to see Robbie Wolfson compete in the Tour Finals for the WCBT that was televised or released recently.
Yeah.
I know things didn't go his way in that particular match, but hey, making that Tour Finals is always a feather in your cap kind of thing, right? So I had a great season last year, so I'm sure he's all gun ho for this season as well.
He had a great season last season, and
it's tough. It's tough to back that up, though, right? It's always like, hey, did you get lucky the one time, or can you do it kind of back to back, right? So, and Rob, I think just from what I hear, I don't know Rob personally too well, but you can tell that he's just one of those good guys, right? That you kind of root for. So I always like those. I always like those guys.
Yeah. And if you have not seen yet, if you're somebody who has not been following the Tour Championships, they are all being posted every couple of days as we lead up to the Autumn Open. So you can check it out on the WCBT Facebook page. Has all of the Tour Finals matches as we get closer to crowning the champion.
Yeah, I think you guys are down to the semifinals now, right? So there's only, I guess, 4 bowlers left. So a few more episodes that you guys will probably release out leading up to the Autumn Open. So which is next weekend. So that's awesome.
And everybody going down. So the start of this match, the top players at the start of the lineups had pretty strong starts, and then it kind of started to trickle off as we went down, especially on the Carnage side, a couple of head pins at the bottom. But
it's always a good spot. Get him out in the way in the first frame. Get those jitters out. It's the first frame of the pro league. I don't know. Did Kelsey bowl the pro league last year? I don't.
Yeah,
she did. So there you go. So her being in the spot against Johnstone, and it's a interesting matchup.
I tell you what, she's a solid competitor. I think she's half the guys out there, right? So
you got is that husband and wife, if I'm not mistaken, top and bottom there. So it's awesome to see that in the pro league, right?
Brad definitely doesn't wear the pants in the relationship. It's all
that's why he leads off, right? That's why Kelsey carries the team, just like she probably carries their life, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
She is. Brad gets roasted. Brad gets roasted there on that left corner. Seemed like a good ball. Seemed like he liked it. Steve head pin on the right hand side, so a little advantage for Brad.
The big change this year we talked about a little bit is Harvey Poach is no longer coaching Carnage, and we have Jeff Wilson in there, so maybe a little bit of a different dynamic that way. And Mike Lecussier is in for was out because he's moved back to Edmonton, and Derek Dobbs is in.
Okay.
So the one thing with Carnage, if you haven't followed them online or if you know what they're doing, they do a lot of team stuff together. They go golfing together. They go dinners, movies, all that stuff together. So they're really trying hard to make the team gel, right? And that goes a long ways.
Yeah, we should do that as the Dream Crushers. We should have little get-togethers.
Yeah.
Except nobody wants to hang out with Tim, so.
Except that we all are like part of the same bowling league and the same organization, so we see each other enough.
Yeah, enough. Exactly.
The only ones we really don't see is Gary or Vic. Yeah. We don't see them as a lot, but so Derek misses a corner up there and that, but Aaron punches, so kind of evens itself out there.
Yeah, getting into some head pin troubles. You got 3 with the Bombers already, and you got a couple on the Carnage. So maybe tightening in a little tight to start the match. But like I said, it's better to get them out of the way early, and hopefully we have a close match going down and avoid those. And there's another one for Tracy to really even it up.
Good cleanup by Aaron.
you do notice that Bombers are wearing their whites. I think that's the one they won in, so they decided to wear the whites instead of the blacks. But
Do you think there's some superstition there too?
100%.
I mean, there is definitely like we don't wear our first jerseys anymore.
Well,
Is
maybe we can.
is lane 15 the one the lane that the Bombers usually play on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one that they played on all last season.
When we were playing in Timmins kind of thing, we just played on whatever lane was kind of open and away from any kind of public bowling. So we never really had a set lane to bowl on. So I remember on the podcast this week, I believe you guys were saying that like you guys kind of stick to one lane. Just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's usually whatever the Dream Crushers want. Then the Bombers get the second. If we're all playing the same time. And then really,
so there's preference. There's preference to the Dream Crushers, is what you're saying.
We used to play on 16 for half,
great shot by
3/4 of the first season, right? And then we moved over to lane 1. So,
and there was a couple matches I think we played on lane 2. Didn't we?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, we threw balls on lane 2, but yeah. So I mean, there is a little bit of a preference. They do like lane 15 there, and that's up to them. So, our guy Henry Schutz has helped Dexter run cap 6 cables to lanes 1 and lanes 16, so we can tie in and give a little bit more of a better
Wi-Fi, better connection kind of thing. Cool.
Yeah, so we did that. I think Kelsey threw a strike. There we go.
Yeah, so we got 3 headpins for the Bombers in the second frame, a couple strikes kind of sandwiched in the middle, and then we got 2 marks with the Carnage. We got 173 right now with the Bombers, maybe 178 if Mark picks them all up, 175 to 171. So real close match so far.
Yeah.
Not quite the match at the start that I was expecting from these two teams, though. Like both of them have such deep talent pools. You were kind of expecting more marks, but
more marks, like you said, kind of thing. But everybody's on the middle. There's only 1 miss combined, between both teams with Aaron's miss in the first frame. Just a lot of headpins. Even the Carnage, a couple missed corner spares there. So things to clean up. But again, it's still early in the bowling season too. So I know personally, like we just started bowling our leagues last week, or for myself anyways. So, they're only a few weeks in. So I think it's like after that first bowling tournament kind of thing, things kind of get that competitive energy going kind of thing. And even the Pro League could help with that too, right? So having started last week. So
there's a corner spare for Steve to get his team going.
Yeah, I need some strings of marks here. Gets things exciting. Power chop for Derek. Where's Derek? Where's Derek from? He's from Calgary as well, I would assume.
No, he's actually from Red Deer. He's born and raised in Red Deer, and then I like to say like 3 or 4 years before COVID hit, he moved down to Calgary. Well, Airdrie.
Yeah, I think he's been there like 7 years.
Yeah, he hasn't played a whole lot down there, and then this last few years he started playing down back in Calgary. But Derek was a hell of a player for a long time out of Central. Mm-hmm. People don't realize. I think it was 2012 for the Masters. He missed making the team by 4 pins or 3 pins. It was super close, and he's made a bunch of opens in the past. So he's definitely a solid contributor. It's nice that he found a niche down there and he hopped on a team. Oh,
a little slider there for Tracy.
That's a little greasy. Yeah.
DB, first double of the day.
A double bagger.
A double bagger. Hopefully we get to say some other fancy words. But there we go. Now we got some marks rolling. Couple strikes and a spare for the Carnage. Couple strikes and a spare for the Bomber. So see if Robbie can get to the side here. There we go.
Great shot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Robbie. Like you mentioned, that you kind of hope for those kind of guys down there, and there's a point where you think he's going to win one of these days, right? Yeah,
the good guys that just go out about their business and they just show up, they support everything. You can, doesn't matter who you are. I'm sure if you'd reach out to Robbie, talk to you, and you can have a conversation with those guys, and they're just like a wealth of knowledge. He's been doing it for so long too, I'm sure. And
well, I think you're right, Tim. I think he is like one of those players that's due for something, right? Like for so many years, he was kind of like that bubble boy. He was always like missing cuts by just like a few positions. Then all of a sudden he's made that jump to making cuts way more consistently. And now I think he's kind of getting into that place where the win or like that really deep run is coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting ready for that next step, right? So
Yeah.
Many people don't know, like early in the 2000s, he won a mixed team gold, and then he started late. He started when he was like 18, 19, like around that age. Like he was not like a early person.
Didn't go through like YBC or anything like that, and started, being the Tylers or the Gregs of the world that have been playing these events since they're like 12 years old, kind of thing, right?
He might have played the last few years of YBC like too, but I know him and Adam became pretty good friends, right? Weber, and then people don't realize that one of Gino's wins at TPC when he was at Collingwood was actually against Robbie in the finals.
Oh.
That was a greasy shot by Steve there.
A little trip there on the two, but then Brad with the double there as well to answer. But the Bombers had a great third frame there with keeping it all black, 3 strikes, 2 corner spares, keeping the momentum going in the fourth frame there. And other than Kelsey's head pin, Carnage had a great frame as well. So, scores are starting to pick up a little bit here. Guys are getting looser and girls are getting looser here. So they're, hopefully we'll start to see some strings here.
Yeah.
Seeing a little bit what we were expecting.
Yeah, Aaron's a very much of a guy that when people start rolling, he can easily start rolling with them, right? And then I feel like he's very much about momentum. If somebody starts struggling, sometimes he'll start struggling too. It's just very highs of highs and lows of lows, right? So
quick background on Aaron, just for me personally. Like I think of the first couple of years that I won or that I attended Masters Nationals, Aaron was the singles rep, and I think that's the years he went back to back kind of thing at the singles in Masters. So that I was like, holy crap, who the hell is this guy kind of thing? I'm like, this guy's amazing kind of thing to do that back to back. You obviously don't see that very often. So it was a good first impression on him, and I've always kind of followed him in his career and stuff like that. And it's fun guy to watch. Well, fun guy to watch the bowl too. He gets fired up. I always like that. So
yeah. Super solid, right? I mean, he's one of the good guys on tour. Yeah.
There you go. A couple doubles for the Carnage there with Brad and Tracy. So picking up that miss from Derek in the middle there in the second spot.
Yeah. Let's see if my staff iced Daryl there.
Your staff iced Daryl.
That's
you're probably texting your staff right now. Just tell them, hey, just ice them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Man, if we only had that during the semifinals. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. Daryl's I think he's playing a lot different the last couple of years. Daryl's been so naturally talented over so many years. The soccer and volleyball and all the other stuff. And I just think Daryl is playing a lot better. Just his mind's better. I feel like his speed's different. His finish is a lot different. I think it's been a whole different ball game for him.
Well, I think with the growth of the game, and obviously with BPG having a big kind of footprint in the game, especially with 5-Pin Universe, and even with all those shirts that they're making that you're seeing kind of pop up across the country, his life is almost like invested in. I'm sure he's got other aspects to the business that's away from 5-pin bowling, but it's obviously a big part of it. So I always wonder, how do you separate it when you go to these events too, right? When you want to be, he's obviously a competitor. He can obviously play. He's made cuts. He's had runs and stuff like that. So you can see he has the talent, but how much does that, is he able to separate it kind of thing? Because it's tough, right? Just like anybody that runs a bowling tournament, right? It's always tough to bowl in your specific tournament because you got so many things going on in your head. So him going to the event, he's probably got so many shirt orders or people asking him for shirts or 5PL this, open this, and stuff like that. So it's always a mental grind.
Yeah, you just got to learn how to figure that out, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
Great
shot by Mark
too. Now, I don't know if Mendes scores include the strikes in the totals. Do they?
Yeah, I think they include the 15 and the 30s counts already in it kind of thing. So 428 to 362. Got a couple doubles on both sides, so still pretty close.
Yeah, 60 pin difference.
I could be wrong though. I could be wrong on those marks though.
Yeah, it's where you want to be though. You want it to still be close going into that commercial break because we know that anything can happen at that commercial break.
Yeah, and they're kind of getting back to their probably the average that they want kind of thing with, averaging out 4 marks a frame kind of thing. So if you look back to the third and the fourth frame, they're kind of getting their feet underneath themselves and starting to play as a team here. So other than Brad's little 3-pin there, but hopefully you can spare it up, keep the momentum going. Oh, look at this. That's an Al Paquette shot right there. 3-pin spares, baby. Get that big 33 count on the double. But you see how he like ran that off? Because he knows that was a huge momentum shot to keep it going kind of thing. He realized the 3-pin was a stupid shot. Just got to go in and try to make that spare, and he nailed it. So
For sure.
And it keeps him close in his match too after, Steve got that double. So it's a huge shot.
And sometimes those 3-pin spares are exactly what you need to just fire a team up too, right?
Hell yeah, because they're so hard to spare.
That, you messed up that first one, but like that 3-pin spare can be a game changer.
That should be a new motto: 3-pin spares for the win.
Yeah.
We need a shirt. Average
we might
Pros
know
shirt,
guys. We might need average pros. Those guys make me sick, eh?
Oh, jeez. Tracy with another one, light in the right pocket.
Yeah, and that was another little weaker there. Yeah.
Yeah, she can. I think even she knows she got away with that one. So, but there you go. So they were able to capitalize on one of their doubles to carry that big 45 count. So bridge that gap a little bit.
Right.
And then it kind of takes a stranglehold in their match against Daryl too. Daryl did get his chop spare there, but there's Robbie.
There yeah.
Yeah, so those that don't know how the 5-pin universe or the 5-pin league or 5-pin universe, 5PL, 5-pin pro league works, it's obviously, first your open style. So, your matchups down the board here. So your leadoffs play against the leadoffs for 1 point, and then you get your team totals for 3 points for a total of 8.
That's right. And we do have the option here of that double pull, right? So there's 2 pulls happening every game if they need it. This season, we've decided to make it so that you can do a pull twice in the same position, which we actually saw in the first week in the Cargill division, where I think there was a pull in the 4th frame and then again in the 7th frame of their leadoff bowler. So that kind of just changes the dynamic of the pulls a little bit more also, having that option to pull in the same position.
In this particular match, I guess the Carnage will be the only ones available to do that because they have 2 bench players. VPG only has 1 bench player, so they wouldn't be able to do the double pull. But yeah, definitely a different dynamic for the Pro League for sure.
For sure. So going into that commercial break, we have the Carnage over with 530. They have 2 spares working, a double, a couple more strikes. Bombers 591 with a couple strikes and a spare going. We'll see what happens in the second half.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brew House, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brew House is the place people want to be.
We are back for the second half. Everybody's ready to go. If you are
Back.
watching over on another stream, or if you're not watching over on another stream and you want a little update of what's happening there, if not, plug your ears. But Caribou Thunder have 621 at the halfway mark to Holy Rollers 498. So
Still early. Still early.
still early.
What lane is Holy Rollers on?
That I don't have the answer to, but I'm sure we will get it soon.
I'm sure it's the same lane that they played on last year where they were getting all the miracle bounces.
The monkey lane. No.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, they figured it out. They figured that issue out. So.
Oh, did they? So there shouldn't be any more miracle bounces?
They
I
did.
don't think so. We actually looked at their machines and
5 PL went to investigate or what?
No. We can't confirm or deny anything like that. But it all handled itself very well. So Brad comes in and he punches, and then Steve throws a big triple there.
Big triple to take the lead in this match there too. Like triple working, and they're basically tied after 6. So advantage Bombers there. See if the Bombers can keep the momentum going. They were kind of averaging out 4 marks a frame for the last few. So always this commercial break can ice people, as they say. But again, Bombers out of the gate. Steve and Aaron keeping their streaks going. So we got our first ham bone. 4-bagger for Aaron. So he's in a good position as well against Derek in the 2-hole there. So advantage Bombers after 6.
Yeah.
Tracy will try to do the same to Daryl here.
Yeah. 100 pin difference right now. Okay.
Tight squeeze from Daryl there.
Yeah.
Good count nonetheless. There we go. Better shot from Tracy in the left pocket, that one. Another ham bone to answer Aaron's.
Gino's Carnage is playing where Toppler normally plays, I think. They'll usually play on that side.
Okay.
So they let him play over there this year, I guess, probably because the Roses aren't there.
Yeah. I wonder if they're both playing on the same day, if that would be the same case. But
well, I'm sure.
Are on lane 9. Got word of that.
Yeah. I don't know if they can do double up there. Yeah.
There you go. Here goes the Sherwood Bull staff to fix up that right corner pin for Daryl.
Yeah.
Robbie going to try to go for the 3-pin spare outside? No good.
Oh, nope. Can't get it.
So Heidi can take control of that match as well by throwing a good shot here. DB's in trouble against Tracy's ham bone there. So it's going to be pretty close for pinfall. You know, you can keep it within 50 to 100. It'll also depend what Mark does at the bottom there, because he can run away with that one against Kelsey too. So
yeah. Yeah, Carnage is going to have to really start turning some things on here, because you don't want to get too far behind with those doubles working.
Mm-hmm.
You're running out of game to make that comeback. So
late right corner fall for Kelsey gets the team fired up going to the next frame. So always good for your anchor to, after Robbie went 3-8 kind of thing. You might be down a little bit kind of thing, but Kelsey does her job there with a great strike. Even a little bit of drama with the late right corner fall there. So.
And Kelsey is one of those players that you would love to have at the bottom, because she is able to just fire a team up. Her intensity coming off the lane.
Right. And then we just got a message from Jeff that Carrie Schneider's in for Rob. So our first poll of our broadcast today. So
Heidi goes 5-hole there. So, close match. So potential good pull from Jeff, giving some little bit of life or some new blood in that fourth spot in a close match against Heidi. So Rob missed a couple times in his last 3 frames. Other than that, he had a couple headpins, a couple strikes. It wasn't awful by any means, but when you got a guy like Carey on the bench, it's probably the right pull in this situation here, I would think. What's the feeling with you guys when it comes to pulling somebody? Do you like to pull somebody mid frame, to give them that chance to throw a ball or two, or you just let the other person finish the frame and you get to start fresh?
I think it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tournament. Like in this format, it's not as big of a deal because your off players can be, your bench players can be warming up on other lanes.
That's
You
right.
don't really need to have them get those couple balls in on that frame to get warm.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it kind of depends also on just the feel of what's happening on the lane. I think sometimes it's nice to be able to just go and shoot at a full deck and not have to go clean up someone else's garbage. So
Right. Because if you look down on lane number 6, I think they're throwing right now. Right?
Yeah, again, that's another aces for Brad. But that's another dynamic that the 5-pin pro league has as well, right? All our bench players can be practicing off to the side. Some people might not know that, so it's like you said, it's a different dynamic when it comes to pulling, right? So
now, were you able to do that, Al? If you could, I guess it all depended on open play, right?
Oh, we were able to. I think like the inaugural season, like I didn't even think that was a thing. So I think we went a couple weeks, and then we eventually found out that everybody was practicing off to the side, and I'm like, what? I said I thought this was open format. I didn't know we were allowed to practice on the side, but yeah. So eventually we found out that we were able to, and yeah, we had a lane off to the side for whoever was on the bench.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to be that way. I don't think we actually really took a huge advantage of it as Dream Crushers. We might more or less during the break we'll throw a set over on the right there, right? And
yeah, the lane would be open kind of thing, and then if anybody was on the bench, and you can kind of get a feel as to when a pull was imminent kind of thing, so they would start throwing balls kind of thing just to stay loose a little bit, depending on if it was like 2 or 3 frames in or if it was the 9th frame kind of thing. But
right,
it's it's definitely a good thing, I think, to keep the players warm. So
yeah, occasionally our coach would tell us like, go throw a couple balls, you're going in right away. But generally we kind of just warmed up during the commercial break.
I wonder how that feels when you know that you're that guy that's going to get pulled, and all of a sudden you see your teammate practicing, kind of like in baseball, right? When you're like a pitcher and you got the guy in the bullpen starting to warm up, you're like, oh crap, said it's coming.
Another 3-pin over on the Carnage side, but Tracy also spares it up.
Carnage keeping the momentum with the 3-pin spares.
Yeah, they had to pick up a little bit here. I mean, they're not down a whole lot.
Yeah, it's 60 pins, and then there's only Daryl on the mark on the right side, and then just Kelsey with the strike at the bottom there.
Right.
So
you look at they're big. Sorry, Al.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm just saying like their 3 big runners are not there anymore, right? You have Steve, Aaron, and Mark are all opened up their string, right? So
Carey off the bench throws a bomb. So he's making his move against Heidi there. So, and you think Coach Lynn is looking at a pull in Heidi's spot, because that's one that's pretty close match. Right. Even Kelsey here, she throws a good shot here. She can take control of her match too. So
for sure.
She liked it.
Heidi has to be in there no matter what, because they don't have Bonnie, right?
Oh, that's right. She's the only woman on the team. That's right. Another dynamic. You always have to have a woman in place. So that's right. They only have Sean on the bench, so Heidi does have to stay in.
Heidi has to stay in, right? I mean, I don't know. Looking at the matches, the only one I can see possibly, it depends on next ball for Daryl probably, or Mark, right? I mean, but Mark's hitting really well. He just threw a couple punches in there, right? So.
Yeah, kind of same thing with Kelsey, right? She hasn't missed the middle, a couple of head pins, and made a right corner spares. So been pretty solid on the anchor spot there. So
see,
she kind of whiffs on that, so that allows Carey now back in. So Carey gets a 30 count, and he's within a handful of sticks, or throws a double, and he can take control of that match as well. So some close matches there. Even Brad at the top here too, who's kind of falling behind a little bit. Is that an opportunity where you let Curtis come in, because the Carnage have another game, but I believe they're in the last game, right, against the Eclipse. I think the Bombers play back to back, right?
The Bombers play back to back, yeah, correct. Yeah. So Carnage will have a game break here, and then they'll be able to come back and do another one. Al, I was telling the podcast group I was driving to work on Friday, and I was listening to Christian Country on the radio, so it's a country station out there. And they had like a little thing going on. And said, what do you get involved in with your wife or your husband once you get it? Once you're with them, right? So like people said, "I'll play video games." Or whatever, or somebody else said we go do this now or whatever. Once somebody wrote in, I guess one of the wives wrote in, it's like watching 5-Pin Pro League on Sunday mornings.
There you go.
So there was like instant shout out there, right?
Yeah.
Now they kind of made fun of 5-Pin bowling a little bit there, I thought, but didn't think we would have enough of a draw to be announcing on one of the most popular radio stations in the Edmonton area. So it was kind of cool listening to that on the way to work.
No, absolutely. Any kind of there's no such thing as bad advertising kind of thing, right? So any kind of shout out you can get, it helps.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. People don't realize. I mean, this pro league is $2,500
a team kind of thing, right? Yep.
Right. So you're looking $60,000 in prize pool, right? There's not many other sports out there for an amateur sport to be able.
And this and this is like a year-long event, so that's why I've always said that kind of the future of 5-Pin is into these cash tournaments and these kind of professional kind of setups, because, like you said, these Calgary or these Autumn Opens and these TPCs and all the WCBT events, even Timmins and Club Tour and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like we're pumping out like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in cash money that's given out on a weekend. Yeah, like these are purses that you don't even see. Like I don't know. I've never really looked at like curling or anything like that, but like there is a lot of money to be had in these things, right? So it's fun to be a part of and to see the growth of it all. And it's we obviously can't do it without all the volunteers, but going back to the bowlers, right? We need the bowlers to keep supporting. You build it, they will come, kind of thing. So we'll keep building as long as people keep supporting. So.
Yeah, everybody's kind of bought in, right? So
that's a little bit. If you are wanting to be part of 5-Pin Universe Pro League as a commentator or as a technical director, we are always looking for people who are interested in coming out or being online and let us know, because I will never do it again. So
no.
All right, but this Curtis is on the lanes. He's ready to go.
Yeah, they're ready to finish this match.
So he's ready to go. So a quick little recap here after the little break. So after 8 frames, it looks like a 983 or 920. I got 927 for the Carnage and like a 983, it looks like, from the Bombers. It's a little blurry from my end here. But anyway, still really close. Marks. You got 3 marks for the Bombers, and you got a double at the bottom there for Kelsey. So that could be huge in the anchor spot to make up a little bit of that gap. Now it'll be interesting to see what we get from these bowlers. Hopefully they were keeping warm over the last 10, 15 minutes or so. So yeah, let's see what happens here. Well, Steve didn't miss a beat. Curtis was coming off the bench there for Brad at the leadoff spot. So it looks like Steve will take that match, basically shutting out Brad / Curtis are maxing out at 239, and Steve is sitting at 238. We're counting a strike, so that's going to the Bombers for sure.
Yeah. It is tough coming in. You had a roll going on.
That is this is a totally different dynamic. Like having a 15-minute break going into the 9th frame, which is arguably the foundation frame, as we all know. And it was a close match, right? And everybody, like we were talking about, the Bombers that were, averaging 4 or 5 marks a frame, and even the Carnage were playing well. They had a little bit of a struggle in the 8th frame, so maybe they didn't wanted that break, but they've clearly come out a little slow here with a couple open frames from Curtis and Derek. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say and what to expect, I guess. But even Aaron here struggling, kind of 5-punch deuce there, but well in control of his match.
Yeah, I guess at this point, I don't know. We're all professionals. I think we've all had a kind of a thing like this happen before, and it does happen.
Yeah.
It just matters trying to keep yourself in the groove, right?
At least they had the opportunity to kind of stay warm off to another lane versus like an actual tournament. Like if you're in an actual tournament and then all of a sudden you get a string break or something snaps or something like that, and you have to wait for for a repair while everybody else is bowling and you can't stay warm, then that's totally different kind of thing as well. But anyways, it's super interesting. Hopefully it'll be the last hiccup for the day, because I'm running out of things to talk about. So
it's happened to me twice where we had two major delays. One was in Riverside in Red Deer during a Masters one, and one was in Fraser during a Masters as well. And I guess what the kicker is that with the Masters out Alberta, you can't drink and bowl. So all of us are sober for a lane event, right? What are you supposed to do, right? You kind of just have to prepare for it and mentally get ready and go through those steps.
Yeah.
But it's after a few hours or for an hour, it's tough, right? So
yeah, we had a breakdown in Timmins last year as well with one of the breaks or something like that in the either ball returns or something, and they were trying to replace it with another lane, and or the clutch broke or something like that. So we were down for about 45 minutes as well. So it's not ideal, but hey, they happen everywhere, kind of thing, right? That was probably the worst one we've had, and we've run the event for like 30 years, kind of thing, right? It's never happened before, so everybody was understanding. It is what it is, kind of thing, and we navigate through it.
And it's stressful. I mean, it's stressful on, like, I can't believe what the staff are like, because they know they need it, right? So,
oh yeah, and they were scrambling back there, and they had their hands dirtied and black, and they were trying to fix things or whatever. So you could tell they were working, and everybody knew that. So it was not like we were just standing around waiting for somebody to miraculously fix it. So they just happened, and this is just a different dynamic. This is a tech side issue, right? It had nothing to do with the lanes here. It was just technology and trying to bring this product out to the people. But this Kelsey's, did she feel a little ice there? Because she was on a triple, going into 9, all fired up. Then she kind of goes miss there.
Yeah.
Lets Mark back in, but then Mark punches. So it's, it's still in Kelsey's favor. But pinfall is what, 1028 to 1070? 75-ish, somewhere.
Yeah, I think there's about 45 pin difference there, right? So
and they each got 2 marks. So 2 marks or 2 strikes for the Bombers and strike and a spare for the Carnage. So it's going to go down to the end here.
Yeah, it all depends what they do on their marks, I think, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So a little bit of an advantage to the Bombers, but see if Curtis can get his 30 count here and at least help for total, right? The individual match is done, but that big 3 points at the bottom is what matters. So
yeah, the big half there, right?
Yeah, and then Steve's counting here too, right, on this strike. So there's a big 30 count on that 9th frame. So he's gaining there. So
yeah, you always try to win 10. That's what I always tell our teams, right? Just win 10. Yep. You never know what happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the Bombers, a little bit of a lead here. Not as big monster scores as we maybe expected out of the gate here, but so we got Brad and Curtis kind of teaming up there for a 212. Going to lose to Steve with a nice solid game there, 283.
Yeah, and he was super solid last year too, right?
Oh, Steve was huge too in the playoffs, right? I believe he ran a couple strings together too, big games.
Yeah.
Derek, Carnage rookie, trying to get some team total points here. So
yeah,
match kind of out of hand here with Aaron sitting where he's at. But again, all comes down to total. So 45. Never know what Aaron's going to do here. So he punches. Yeah. You can gain 30 pins in one frame here with a couple of other good shots from Derek.
Right. And Aaron just needs to pick up a 5.
Looks like a good shot. No, a little thick there, so split. But he will gain a few points anyways, probably a few points that Steve made up. So there'll probably be no ground made up after the first 2 bowlers on either side. So it'll be we had a little graphics here to keep track of the points at the bottom for the Carnage and the Bombers. I think there's usually a little ticker at the bottom here.
Let's see how we can work that out there.
So we got 2-0 first two bowlers from the Bombers taking their points. So wins for Steve and Aaron. Aaron finishing up, cleaning up his 15 for a 250 something. 247, sorry. So 247 to Derek's 219. So now we got Tracy. Again, close match here. Like, Tracy can obviously shut him out with a good count here, a good count, basically, because Daryl maxes out at 251. So if she gets the side of the middle here, she'll be good. And I jinxed it.
Oh, and Daryl gets ripped.
Yeah, so that game's over. Daryl Kamack's out at 236. She's already sitting at 239, so she's got enough. But again, the Carnage was trying to bridge the gap here for total, and that's not going to do it. So they're going to be they're going to be they're running out of frames here. They're down about 80 or 90, I think, if I'm reading 1081 or 1061. So with only 2 bowlers left and only a spare working for the Carnage, it's going to be tough. But Tracy does take her point, 254 to Daryl's 221. Carnage on the board with their first point of the season.
Yeah.
And Rob and Carrie here. So, yeah, Rob and Carrie, they actually have a bit of a lead here on Heidi. So, see if Carrie can finish it off.
That's a big shot, right? Because a 5-3 loss is not that bad, right? If that happens.
Yes, if you're gonna lose, obviously you try to lose by the least amount, kind of thing, right? So 5-3 split would be ideal. It's probably what the Carnage are probably kind of going for, winning those individual matches at the bottom there. And with Heidi missing and Carrie getting that strike, Carrie, I believe, has control of this. If you can strike out, it's done.
Yeah.
So Heidi does make the spare. Carrie gets another strike. So this can go down to the last ball here, I think, right?
Let's see what we got here.
I think Carrie
max for Heidi,
231 max, and then 240.
Yeah. So
it could
hit the side, right?
Yeah, hit the side.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done. Carrie posting the number. There you go. Off the bench, steals the point. Heidi throws a bomb. Fortunately, it was a little too late on that one, but still solid 231 game from Heidi. But Carey does what he's supposed to do, I guess, coming off the bench there and stealing the match. So good pull from Jeff there. Give that one to Jeff. And now the bottom match here, Kelsey up by 15. So she can throw a ball here, put a lot of pressure on. Oof.
Yeah, Mark still needs to throw Mark, right?
Yeah, so if Kelsey can spare strike and basically guarantee a half, force Mark to strike out because Mark strikes out for a 261. But at this point, Mark just needs the first one. Oh, no pull on the 2-pin there. So Mark needs a double to win or a 30 count to push, basically tie. Oh, gets roasted on the left corner there. So he needs a spare. Needs a spare to keep the hopes of a half alive. And Kelsey needs this to guarantee a half for herself. And the Carnage. Okay, so a guaranteed a half point. See if Mark can get his. Oh, by a hair.
And let's be honest, it's tough. I mean, both of them are rolling, and all of a sudden they get iced in the 9th.
Oh, right? Yeah, and they kind of both went open, right? In 9-10. So, unfortunate kind of finish for Mark there, but at the end of the day, ends up being a 5-3 split for the Bombers. So I think the Carnage will take that. They finished with an 1171, probably not ideal. Even the Bombers at 12, looks like 1243 or something like that, 1213.
Yeah.
So 1213, is that what it was? Yeah.
1213, yeah.
So not huge monster scores, but 5-3 split. So 5-3 split. We'll get managers, coaches in for a brief little try to make these quick since we're running a little bit behind here.
Yeah.
There are other teams in the background, so
they're ready to go. I know that.
I'm sure they are. Appreciate their patience.
All right, we'll bring.
Hopefully nobody's giving Carrie or Katie and Carrie a hard time.
No, they shouldn't.
So Jeff, welcome. Probably not the start of the season you were expecting score-wise, but a 5-3 split. Is that you consider that a win or something to build on?
Yeah, no, definitely something we take. That 5-3 split, getting those 3 points is big. It was a bit of a tough match there, having that getting cold and having that break.
Yes.
We're trying to throw, but it's no excuses there. Both teams had to deal with that, but it's a decent start, and it's a formidable team. So taking taking 3 points off of them is good.
For sure. And Lynn, how's your team doing after that game?
Yeah, that's okay. We kind of gave up a couple at the end. We didn't come out of that long break very well, right? And we punched a lot. Generally, when we struggle, it's because we punch. But we bowled okay. I'm sure both teams think that they could have bowled a little bit better, but it is what it is. And like he said, 5-3 is probably a pretty good test for what the game was. So
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So we have a couple more matches we're going to get to right away here. We'll just run the commercial break and then we will chat with Lynn. You're up next, right?
Yep.
Next
Yep.
match. And
Yep.
we will see you in a little bit, Jeff.
Sounds good.
Hey, good match, guys.
Yeah. Good luck, Jeff.
Yeah, same to you, Lynn.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brewhouse, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place people want to be.
All right, we are going to jump right into match number 2. We can bring in our managers here to chat with them. Lynn Howell and manager player Bailey Lawson. So we're getting ready for match number 2. We've changed some things up on the tech side, so hopefully things will run super smooth this game. Lynn, how are you guys feeling going into game 2?
We're just going to take out Daryl and put in Sean Heller.
Okay.
And otherwise, it's the same. So it'll be Steve and Aaron and Sean and Heidi and Mark.
And Bailey, how's things going over there in BC?
Pretty good. Team's feeling good, and we got everyone out here, minus one player. So on our lineup, we have Chris, followed by Yvonne, and then Drew, and then myself and Mike as anchor with Trevor and Alan on the bench. So we have just one woman playing today.
So you don't have the option of a female pull then?
But it's Yvonne, so she's always pretty good. So
Yeah.
There.
So,
All right.
just want to point out, Bailey, you are now the manager again.
Pardon? No. So Ivan's not here today, but I'm the manager. Like I do all the stuff on the back end kind of things,
Okay.
the coordination, and then Ivan is fully in charge of the lineup. I kind of relinquished control of that, which I quite love because when you're doing everything as well as playing, like it's just too much going on. So
It is, yeah. Okay. All right, just had to throw that in there. All right, thanks,
right.
Bailey.
We're going to get this match started here. Good luck to both of you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck. Good luck, Bailey. Eh?
Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Hey, no mess ups.
All right. We are ready to rock and roll here.
We going through lineups again with the graphics for the Eclipse and the Bombers, or just the Eclipse?
We can do both of them here. We'll run through the Bombers here first. Tim, do you want to run through them?
Yeah, so we have Daryl Briley, Mark Johnstone, Steve Cummings, Heidi Mapstone, Sean Heller, Adam Kemp, Aaron Arndt, Bonnie Olson, managers Lynn Howell, and center Sherwood Bowl.
All right. And over on the Eclipse side.
The Okanagan Eclipse. Are they still in Okanagan? Sorry, I don't even know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Eclipse, we got Bailey Lawson, Yvonne Walker, Drew Soroka, Alan Byrne, Chris Bradford, Trevor Richwalski. Sorry if I massacred that. Mike Elder, Jesse Buchanan, and manager Bailey Lawson, bowling out of Lincoln Lanes.
Amazing. All right. I heard Lynn right as we were closing. No more mess ups. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, that's a kick in the nuts.
Yeah. They're gonna blame that on the Dream Crushers trying to ice the ball. You realize that, eh? Especially when Lynn chimed in that we lost a couple points towards the end there. So,
no.
you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it from DB on that for sure.
Resting.
Yeah, that's it.
Sweating. My hands were shaking. I was on the phone. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I just can't wait. Maybe something fucks up on lane 15. I don't know. Maybe I can make that arrangement for him.
Yeah, like let's make something else take the attention away from the fact that we had some tech issues, but I'm sure this game will run much smoother. We have Carrie has taken over the back end side because for whatever reason the computers here just do not want to talk to each other no matter what we tried to do in the fix. We rebooted both of them. I tried to do it off of a desktop computer here. It's just not talking to each other for whatever reason. So he took over the OBS side. So hopefully it'll run super smooth now.
Yeah. It'll run smooth. It wasn't anything you could have done there, Katie. So don't be fretting on that.
Mm-hmm.
A little slow start from Bradford there. Little headpin hole 10 count to start. Yvonne with this headpin as well. Kind of similar to what we saw in the first game. Couple of headpins in the first couple frames. Getting the jitters and getting that first few shots out of the way. Hopefully they pick it up like the Bombers and the Carnage did kind of midway through that game till we iced them in the ninth. But Aaron off the hop, running out strikes in the first frame. Gotta love it. I'm a high energy guy. I love seeing that stuff. I don't care if it's in the first frame. I don't care if it's whatever. If you're on a one bagger, two bagger. Well, maybe the one bagger is a little funny, I guess. There, but
do you find out as you get older, you don't do it as much?
I don't know if it's you get older, if you get fatter. So it's like,
well, I mean that'd be me for sure. But I mean, I just found when I was younger, and it's not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. I'll clarify that. But I just found when I was younger, it was more high energy, and I found my peaks and valleys a whole lot higher and a whole lot lower, right? And
yeah, you gotta channel that energy, and you just gotta learn. You really have to learn how to control it if you're a high energy guys, because like there's obviously you see the Coltons and the Brad Take gas and stuff like that are just full on energy like all the time kind of thing, especially if they're rolling kind of thing. But they've obviously learned to manage it properly because you can't argue their success that they've had.
Well,
personally, like when I was younger, I was super jacked up all the time kind of thing, and like I thought I wasn't able to handle it kind of thing. I'd go high game, low game way too much.
Yeah.
So
managing that level, right? You come off the lane and you're so up, but then how do you channel that energy back into a successful shot the next time you're up on the lane?
Yeah. It's great when you get a game rolling and stuff like that to get jacked up, but it's just like the next game after, you throw that big, 350 plus game or something like that. And then the next game, you're just like, you're kind of calming down after that big game kind of thing. And then you kind of just pull out a dud personally anyway. So I was just like, you know what, let's, shoot a 350, just make it a little bit more ho-hum kind of thing, right? And not make it as big of a deal, because like I was like really loud back in the day and get pretty jacked up and stuff like that. So I tried to tone it down quite a bit. So, but yeah, everybody's different. It's I just love to see it from an entertainment standpoint. You know what? You want to see the guys running out strikes. You want guys pumping fist pumps in people's faces and stuff. And I love that. And I would never take offense to it if anybody would do it to me. I would love it. I would probably just try to do the same thing to them on the next shot. So there's a few times at the opens and stuff like that it's happened, and it's like, you know what? It's part of the game, man. Do it.
It is, and there's a respectful way of doing it, right? And like I said, I commend people like Colton. When he first, I didn't know him, and he was playing the 16s. I think he came in top 4 that year at the autumn, and every 15 games of high intensity, I was like, man, I just don't know how he does it, right? And then Brad's been kind of like a little bit more of a he's still high intensity, but not nearly like he used to be.
Yeah.
But I think it's just time goes on, and you had to choose your battles. And somebody like you watched last week, Zach Nielsen, like Zach has full of energy, right? And you can hear him.
Yeah.
You can hear him through the mic on the camera, right?
Yeah.
And those are the players you need to have on your team too, right? Because their energy kind of flows through the whole team too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Could be good, could be bad too, though. Sometimes you're just struggling and you want to try to figure it out, and you got Mr. Hi Ho in the background. They're just yelling obscenities in your ear, kind of thing. You're just like, shut up, man! Like,
shut up, man. Yeah, I guess I look back at your TSNs. Maybe you were high intensity on TSN.
Oh my god! Like on my TSN when I played that game, my first game, like I was yelling at everything as soon as it was out of my hand because I knew it was a good shot. But that's how I used to be. Like I used to like just yell at everything, and that was 2007, so I was like 20 years old then. So I was 17 years ago, whatever it was. So it was a lot different back then. But that's, again, I went high game against Steve out of the gate on TSN. You shoot a 360, and then you go bowl the next one, and you're like, you scramble for a low 2 and you lose, kind of thing. And it was just, I couldn't balance that at that time, kind of thing, right? So plus, like I said, being on TSN was just like a dream come true at the time too, whatever. So it was it was a lot of emotions, and I really took a lot of lessons from that. But on a team event, like you bowl the opens and stuff like that, then I get a little bit wilder. But in a singles event, I try to be a little bit more kind of even keeled now, kind of thing, because I know you can throw a good game one game and you could shit the bed the next one. So it's like, you know what? I don't want any attention, right? Because I don't want to be that guy that's getting all jacked up, and then all of a sudden you look at the leaderboard, and you're like, this guy's like in last place. Like, why is he? Like, why was he so jacked up last game? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It does happen though. It does happen. You'd be surprised. And then, I mean, we're the one of the people be like, oh my god, I can't believe he's so loud. He's in 18th place, like not even close, right? So
yeah, exactly. So I just don't want to be that guy anymore. So it's like, nope. Now I just try to keep it to myself and. But in a team event, like, if you're playing, step ladders in the opens and stuff like that, then I'll get fired up just to try to get the team fired up. And then they laugh at me because all the stupid shit I do, but whatever. It's all good.
That's what makes it so fun, right? And memorable, right? So
I love it. And I never go in expecting to do that kind of stuff. And I don't know if bowlers do or not, but it's like, it's just the energy that you feel in that moment, right?
Yeah. Every team needs that one player that's just going to like bring some lightness to the pit, right?
Yeah.
You need to have, it can't be super serious and stuffy all the time.
And we always do that too. There's so much like, chirping our own teammates and stuff like that. Like, and probably not even words that you probably should say on a live stream, but like, we just like literally mock each other and tell each other how terrible we are and stuff like that, right? Just to keep it light, because that's what we do during our league nights. We just want to make it comfortable, make it relax, and that's just the kind of people we are, right? We just like, and a lot of our bowlers on our open teams and stuff like that are really good friends. So it's and just like you guys, right? You guys, you guys could probably put 2 or 3 teams out there, and you guys would all know each other, right? So
Yeah,
we've been pretty fortunate over the years. It just the camaraderie in our community is pretty close, right? So yeah.
Bombers down. Oh no, they're back up.
No, don't say that. Don't say
So
that.
back to the match here. So yeah, the second fray, we had 4 marks on both sides. So you had a couple strikes for the Eclipse and a couple spares, and then 3 strikes and a spare for the Bombers. So we're back on track here. But the Eclipse had a good finish in that first frame. The bottom 3 all striking there. So
yeah,
and they even got a couple doubles going. So Okanagan getting right back up to it. They have I guess their new jerseys aren't in yet, so they'll have some new jerseys hopefully in the next few weeks, hopefully, and then to match their new logo.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm seeing there? Because they have a new logo, right? And that doesn't match their shirt that they have. These are last year's shirt. So that'll be sharp to see. I know BPG does a lot of work in that, so that's always nice to see the new logos, especially the new teams that came out this year and even the redesigns.
They do a great job at the designing and everything else like that too, right? So just give you guys a heads up. I don't think Katie's day could get any better, but Bomber's camera was going low, and
Carrie's gonna have to fix it. So I just sent him a message to say, "Hey,
yeah."
it's the Bombers
So
camera.
yeah, so just put in a little kink in everything, and
Just
maybe Lynn jinxed it, right? Maybe
we should just use our imagination. We should just make up. A scenario, and they go by that. Just like the NFL, it's all scripted anyways, right? So it's just might as well make our own.
Yeah, it's all scripted, right? Yeah.
Right, but also this is like a surefire way. We don't have to commentate anymore this season. Like I think we're off the hook now.
Nobody's gonna want us back.
We're going to be invited back. So we're definitely going to need more tech directors and more commentators because the 3 of us were out. So
yeah. It's it just runs itself, Katie.
Everything runs itself. Well, yeah.
There you go. Sean with his first strike, so that's a good start.
Sean's a really solid player. I don't know if he's actually throwing any balls yet this year because he doesn't play league. So, but yeah, I mean, Katie, the way you have to look at it is, I mean, we're surviving the worst. I mean, what else can happen, right? So
don't even put that out there into the universe, Tim, because I don't want to know what else can happen.
I jinxed it earlier when I told Katie not to be good at this because this way, if she was too good at this, then they would ask her to do it all the time. So now she's just butchering it so that they don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No. Hey, Bailey, 3-pin spare. That seems like a Bailey kind of shot, right?
Yeah.
Some marks going on here. Bombers, let's see, 3 left corner spares and a strike there. So starting to pick up some counts there.
So we have Daryl on the bench for the Bombers, right? And so he can come in, and obviously Heidi can't be. Actually, none of the ladies can be taken out of either match right now. And then on the other bench we have Trevor Richalski and Alan Burns. So maybe we might see a pull here in the next couple of frames, but just everybody at home, at least you have an idea who's on the bench and
who's on the bench. Yeah, it's pretty close. The Okanagan Eclipse, they're 4 marks in the last couple of frames, so they're keeping up with the Bombers as well. Matches obviously still very early in the 3rd frame here, but yeah, I don't know if there's too much cause for concern other than a couple misses at the bottom, but that was like Mike coming off a double, so he's still sitting at 65 after 2 with a spare, well ahead of his match with Mark here.
Yeah, but I mean, the last Mark's, I mean, just before COVID and during COVID and now after COVID, Mark's the old Mark, I think, right? He's been playing super well on Thursdays again. His solid.
Yeah, you definitely. You good now?
I think so. This isn't me. Oh.
I blame Carrie.
I blame Daryl.
getting feedback on the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because the other feed's up.
Oh, there we go. I figured out how to fix that part.
Perfect. All right. Let's
There we go.
Oh, look how clear it is too. That's perfect.
Ew.
Sometimes things go right, you guys. Sometimes things go right.
Yeah, it's coming up camp. That's what they always tell us. Coming up camp. When things are
Chris-
going well for us, yeah, we always say coming up camp.
Chris going for the alphabet with a head pin to left or right. Now a strike. So
So
a few more letters up there.
Yeah, you got the split and you got the chop. And the aces. There's 3 more. Let's see if he gets it. Yeah.
Now we're putting the commentator's curse on him. He's gonna. Anyways, not even going there.
Bradford would be loving it for sure. All right, so Aaron goes up there. He's gonna. Oh.
Pitches out left. Yvonne picks up her 15, so she's at 82 after 4. So trailing a little bit from Aaron here, but still early and still definitely a couple balls away to make it a match. You always want to try to keep it close at the halfway mark and then make your move on the way home, kind of thing. So now Aaron opens up, so perfect.
Isn't it crazy to see when Steve, like, he really runs that team at the top? I mean, when Steve's rolling, the rest of the team's rolling, right? And Steve has an open, and it's going to happen. I always find that it changes the whole effect of the rest, right? So,
well, that's the importance of the. I find the 2-hole kind of being an important spot as well, right? Because you kind of rely on your leadoff to be, you're kind of high energy, you're kind of, set the tone. But it happens where your leadoff could struggle, so you got to rely on that second guy to pick up the slack as well, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you got Sean there in the 3-hole. He's trying to be that guy, kind of thing. So let's see if Heidi and Mark can respond to that and follow suit. Because Bailey here roasted.
Okay.
But a great count on that spare.
Yeah, keeps him close in his match with Heidi. Because if Heidi strikes here, she'd only be up 4. So it's close.
She's so good though, eh? Oh, corner.
She's getting roasted. She's getting a lot of corners today, I think. Eh?
You know what? I don't.
Parkway right now.
No, I don't feel.
Is that the pitfall at Sherwood being terrible? Is that what it is?
You know what? Well, first of all, Katie doesn't throw the same ball twice. So
Pardon me?
You throw a star line and you throw your 5-inch.
No, I always throw the same ball for the first shot. I always throw my heavy
Anyway.
ball
But
first.
what I'm saying is, yes, the pinfall was a little bit tough, and then we changed something in the back, and we're hoping that it makes a big difference for the scores.
But on Thursday night in the first 2 games, I had like 10 corner pins. So
Yeah, but did you make an
Good thing.
adjustment?
did I make an adjustment? No, I don't need to because I don't throw the same ball twice. Remember?
Yeah. See, there we go.
Isn't that a Tim thing? Not making any adjustments?
I could jump in on the left side of the head pin, the right side of the head
Oh.
pin, heavy, not heavy. Like it didn't matter what I threw. I was leaving corner pins.
Mhm.
I could throw a dumpy ball with no finish on it. I could throw a ball with like tons of finish on it, and it was still hanging corners all night.
I just don't think we should have a spell soul on Pro League there, Katie. So we'll just leave it as is and call
Don't have
bygones be
domestic
bygones.
over here. Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
hon.
Yeah, no, but no, it's Heidi. I don't feel bad for her because Heidi has my number. I can't beat her ever, 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 ever. She's just too good.
Hey Tim, how about you just be better?
I try to be better, and she's better than me. Yeah.
Heidi's way better.
One time I started a 5-bagger against her, and I was just rubbing it into her face. Like, it's unlike me to do that. And she finished 8-bagger to beat me. Yeah, it was just lovely. Yeah. And she fist pumped me across the lanes and over the ball return, and yeah.
As she should.
I'm gonna have PTSD on corners here. It seems like there's so many corners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Another one for Bradford.
Jeez. Pinners or winners. Got to make these spares.
Yeah, pinners or winners. I know Mitch is loving that for sure.
Oh,
and
see?
just as you say that, a miss from Steve.
Yeah, and then Bradford gets his. Bradford is leading. Oh my goodness, another whiff. Swing and a miss. So now it'll be a close game. They'll be at 111 to or
103 to potentially 111. Oh,
Yeah.
101 to 1.
I don't know if they're gonna get it. Oh, these Chris got
There we go. There we go. See, look.
10 pin match at the half there, so still anybody's game. But
Right.
maybe
Also really
coaches are thinking pulls at this point. In a close match like that, Bombers having DB. DB be a good guy maybe to go in the top spot, get him fired up. He's probably chomping at the bit, ready to go.
Ooh, a 3-pin by Aaron.
Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays
And
off.
a strike over on the Eclipse side. So that's going to make that match really interesting going into the back half.
Yeah, Yvonne doing what she had to do there. So it's 3-pin spares. We've seen a few today. Let's see if Aaron can get her third one, I think, already. No, he tried to go outside there.
Oh.
Here you go, Drew. Big 30 count for the team. So Eclipse that's sitting at 505. Bombers 446. So slight advantage to the Eclipse right now. Bombers do have their 3 marks coming up, though, at the bottom of the lineup here. So pretty close game. At the halfway mark anyways, but not any big scores. Nobody kind of reeling any big strikes here. Or big string of strikes, I should say.
Oh, barely misses. Yeah.
Oh, Sean, that was a bomb.
Yeah, Sean gets such good roll on his shot. I love watching Sean play.
See the explosion at the pins there.
Yeah. Crazy stat about Sean. Sean's made 3 opens at Edmonton. And not every year he's tried out, but only 3 opens for the Open. He made the provincials and 3 golds at nationals. 3 for 3.
It's a good percentage, eh?
It's a very good percentage, right? Just shows that he's elite, right? So
yeah, you want him on your team, clearly.
Yeah.
But with Heidi's head pin there, that spare from Bailey is huge because that kind of gives him the lead in his match. And even the 3-hole there with Drew's strike, putting him at 99 after 4, and you have Sean at 103. I know Sean's kind of got an extra ball there, but still fairly close there as well. So no one running away with anything by any means.
That's a big half there.
Big half. So it'd be a big shot here for Mark here to try to get the momentum because the Bombers only have 1 strike in the 5th frame here, and the Eclipse have 4 marks rolling. So
yeah,
be a huge mark for the team here, especially going into the break.
Yeah. So it looks like Eclipse are going in with those 2 strikes, 2 spares, and 540. Is that what I see? It's kind of a little bit, but and then Bombers, like you said, they have the 1 strike right now. Johnny's working on a spare, so a good count here will pretty much put total tied.
There you go. Great shot.
Right there. So they have 537 with 2 strikes working. It's basically a neck and neck going into the last half. We'll run the commercials really quick here and then get to the second half.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brewhouse, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place people want to be.
All right, we are back with the second half. Bombers are just doing a quick little reset on their camera for the scores. I know after the delay this morning, their battery pack got a little bit low, so they were just resetting that, making sure that they was going to stay charged enough for the last part of the game. We'll get Carrie to just move that scoreboard over.
Yeah, Carrie. Please.
He's also doing scorekeeping. So Venom scorecard on the other stream doesn't do the automatic update of scores. So he has to like add up the team total as it's going to while doing.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see the PEI group hand bombing scoring, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so I saw the like template for it, the like computer, they have a computer program. It's actually probably going to be clearer than most of all the other team scoreboards when it's all said and done. It looks really good. So hopefully that.
Yeah, the great part is for those people that don't know PI, but they have Alan Clark doing all the technical stuff for them. And Alan does all the masters and the 5-pin website, so they do have a background in tech. So
On the tech side.
Fully trust him on making that.
There's a pull from the Bombers, I believe, with Steve's headband. Looks like DB's going in here. Going to finish off that frame.
Yeah. This match is closer.
And that's kind of what we just discussed, didn't we? Like right before the break, kind of thing, with that match kind of being close, and that might be a possibility for a pull. So Chris still going to have a little bit of a lead in that leadoff spot. So yeah, we'll see what DB can do coming off the bench.
Yeah.
And then Yvonne gets a double in 6 there. So staying hot after the break there. So she keeps it close with Erin as well, because if she gets the next one, she'd actually take a lead in the match. So that double is huge, and also huge for pinfall as well. So because the Bombers again only have those 2 marks, and then now you got the Okanagan here getting the double. Now we had Drew getting that big 30 count. So they're piling on some good counts here. So great shot from Erin there in that left pocket. Does Erin have a preferred pocket? Do people have preferred pockets?
I just want to hit the middle.
You just want to hit the middle? Fair.
That's fair. I think right pocket would probably be my best pocket, but I'm just aiming to hit the middle. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you, Al?
I'm a right pocket. I play a slight right to left hook there, so I would prefer to be in the right pocket.
I think I get better reaction on the pins when I keep it right side, but a lot of times.
Ideally, I can score from both sides. Like I have a pretty kind of like wide strike zone, but I would prefer to be in the right pocket for sure.
Yeah, same.
No. Mike hangs the corner there.
But again, another 30 count from Bailey. So they got like 30 counts in the, 3 out of the 4 spots there, 28 count from Mike at the bottom. And the Bombers are, headpin trouble coming out of the break there. So they're going to be behind they got what, 666 there, or 670 now with the spare, or 669 or something.
669?
Yeah.
So
that's a lucky number. Yeah, there we go.
and they got 4 marks and a double work, or 3 marks and a double working. So kind of a big frame coming up for Okanagan, and we need Heidi and Mark to do something here. But another
Watch to get the push to get the chop off there, but just couldn't get that corner.
That's 1, 2, 3, like 3 headpins in their last 6 shots or 7 shots or 1, 2, 3, 4 out of their last 7 shots. So when you're going over 50% on headpins as a team, it's not ideal.
No.
I really do believe, though, she's going to come back and finish up this game strong. Like, there's no other reason to think otherwise with her.
No. And we've seen it times that she just goes, something clicks, and she's like, oh, shoot, I got to figure this out, and throws the 6-bagger or the 5-bagger to finish a game, right?
So when your last 4 frame, you go corner, spare, headpin. You think those headpins were an adjustment from trying to get a different kind of angle on the corners because she was getting so many of them, or was it just no changes? Just
a little bit poor placement. Maybe didn't quite finish the shot the same way.
Okay.
But knowing her, if she was getting strike headpin or strike corner, she knows she's throwing a good ball. Maybe just has to get a little bit more fingers on it.
Ooh, I think Mark liked that one too there. His reaction after the power chop there seemed like he liked it into that left pocket. but he'll need the half here to just give, the Bombers an extra mark here, and then keep his match with Mike somewhat close. Like it's still, still 20 pins difference, so it's still well within reach with 4 frames left. But I think the Bombers just need some positive momentum here.
Yeah. So I just pulled up the other feed here. It looks like the Rock and Rollers lost to Venom 6.5, 1.5. So Venom has 6.5 points to start the season.
Nice.
I do think that's their first win of the 5PL. I don't think they won one last year.
Oh no.
Or maybe they did. Maybe they won one. But that's a good start. Much better start, right? Dakota had a 350 in there.
Bradford gets roasted. DB punches. So he comes off the bench with a couple punches. Or no, sorry. Steve had gotten the first punch in 6, and then DB went in to clean it up.
Did we give an update on the other feed yet?
Yeah. Tim just did there. Gave us the lowdown on the Venom and the Rock and Rollers. So Bradford, couple corner pin spares. He's getting the yank. No, okay, he's back.
Not yet.
Wasn't sure. He was looking back kind of thing. I wasn't sure if he was about to get yanked there, but he's still in the lead in his match against Daryl. Daryl wasn't able to capitalize, getting a head pin himself. So
no, I don't know. I know he missed 2 corners, but he's all over the middle, right? So a few taps in there.
And I think even that corner, like he seemed to really like it. He kind of just got robbed kind of thing. But again, you got to be able to convert those and try to hopefully take control of those matches. But at least you have the, at least you can say, okay, well, I still got a 13-pin lead, I guess. Having 130 in the 7th and you have a lead, I'm sure he'll take it. Not ideal, but he'll take it.
Oh, Yvonne missed in the middle, but so Aaron's still in charge, but
yeah, she can half it up here and then get within 6 and a ball kind of thing. So big spare for Yvonne here, and for a pinfall too. Keep padding the pinfall.
As a player, you always try to stay in your match and stay.
Oh no!
And she blows it past.
Yeah.
Okay, well, got to regroup here and just pick up all her pins here and let the bottom 3 of that team pick them up.
Yeah. I just think total is so important. It doesn't matter what match you're in, right? Yeah.
Exactly. That's that's a tough part. Everybody playing their individual matches, but you also and then you see somebody running away with a match, but it's like that person needs to stay vested for the team kind of thing, right? To keep pushing through it. So another head pin from Heidi. Oh, Lay.
Drew throws a big strike there.
Yeah, big 30 counts, especially with Chris and Yvonne opening up there. And the Bombers had a couple marks going, but again, with Heidi and DB getting head pins, they can still kind of salvage this frame here with 3 marks and stay close with the Bombers and keep that lead there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Mr. Team Manager can do here. See if he can show up here, and another great shot from Bailey.
I love giving Bailey a hard time. He's kind of always been my whipping boy for so many years. So
I heard apparently you got a few whipping boys. So
him and Curtis, I tell you what, those
has
two
a bunch of whipping boys.
But you know what?
You just roasted Curtis on the podcast there. I was like, oh, Matt, you're just taking him out to lunch.
And you know what? He texted me after with laughing faces. So
yeah, I'm sure Curtis seems like a pretty down to earth guy, so doesn't take too much offense to that. I'm sure
he's good. Yeah, Bailey used to play out of Edmonton for a few years. So you lived in Calgary, moved up to Edmonton, and he moved to the Okanagan afterwards.
There you go, world traveler. So Mike here try to salvage a 3-3 split in marks here, kind of thing in the 7th frame for Okanagan. Nice shot from Mike. So he kind of keeps up with Mark too, because Mark threw that big strike there in 7 for the big 30 count on this spare. So only up 7 here. Yeah, a lot of close matches for sure. And what's the total pinfall? 793 to 728, so 65 pins or so.
Mm-hmm.
So with 3 frames left and both teams just on 3 marks. Let's see who can finish it off here in 8, 9, 10. At least we'll have a close match going into the last few frames.
Yeah.
Don't like no blowouts. It's no fun for the viewers.
Oh, something different.
Well, he got the chop, so now he's only missing what, a split, because he had the HL right X left chop. So what's he missing? Just a split?
Oh, wait, yeah.
An S for a split? And he's got the alphabet?
Oh, wow.
Oh, now he's yanking himself, I think.
He pulled himself.
Yeah.
Typical Bradford fashion there.
Well, like I said, I think he thought he was going to get pulled after he missed the corner pin in 7, like when he kind of like looked back kind of thing, and he went back for it. So I was like, oh, not yet.
Yeah.
But DB, big strike there in 8, kind of takes control of that point at the leadoff spot. That would have been a big strike for the Bombers there for Aaron for that 45 count and total pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
Allen comes off the bench, picks up his 15. It's exciting.
I like close matches. Definitely makes.
Like even if it's like 1100 to like 1100, like I don't know, like even if it's 1000 to 1000, I just want it close.
Like one of those grinded out matches that both teams are just like pulling everything they can out.
Yeah, and like this here, like this match here, obviously again the scores aren't huge, but it's just headpin trouble for the Bombers, and Okanagan, a few misses here and there kind of thing, but Bradford missing a few like spares and stuff like that, but otherwise, like if you look at Bailey, he's been pretty clean other than this headpin in the first frame, just kind of marking everywhere. Same thing with Drew. His only open is a headpin. So it's they're keeping it clean at least. It's not.
They are. And like when you think about those spares, like Bailey's game, let's say he throws a strike the next frame, 173 and 7 is not a bad place to be. Like if I'm around that 175, 200 mark by the 8th frame, like that's, you at least are going to get to that mid 200 range, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, right. You obviously everybody, especially in these situations, you're probably looking at 250 plus at least kind of thing, right? You're looking at a 1250, 1300 as a team total kind of thing. So yeah, you try to break down your game kind of average and give yourself a chance to get there kind of thing, right? So like you said, if you can get to that roughly 200 mark in 7 or 8 kind of thing, then you go 30-30, you're at the 260, right? Which is a pretty good average.
Yep, 100%.
She got that good squeeze on that one, right?
But another corner, right? Corners and headpins for Heidi over the last like 6 frames, right?
And I guess this is where it's really important to have, if you could have both ladies there, right? I mean,
that's the thing, right? She's not bowling bad, but it's clearly
a miss spare. Oh,
so that's going to give Bailey like a huge opportunity here to throw and take like a stranglehold on this one.
Yeah.
Because Heidi's going to max out at 220, 224, and Bailey can get to like, oh, darn it. I'm going to shut up. Huge shot, headpin. Yeah, I bet you he knew it out of his hand too.
He did, yeah. But I mean,
see, no marks anywhere. One mark for Okanagan and only 2 for the Bombers. Who wants it? Who wants it? Mark wants it. There you go. Massive. Great shot from Mark, and you see getting fired up, right? He knows it. Trying to get the team fired up for a big 9-10. And let's see if Mike can answer. So in that match with Bailey, 173 to 134. So 39 pin lead with 2 frames to go. So again, Heidi's gonna have to bag out to get to that 220 mark, which would force Bailey to get a mark somewhere, kind of thing. So still a chance for Heidi, and we all know she can throw them together.
Oh, 3 pin.
Let's see if this strategy works out.
Momentum is such a big thing in 8, 9, 10, right? So I think if the Bombers can capitalize on their marks on lane on the 9th frame, I think it could really set them up for 10 and take home the W.
Oh, Mike, 3 pin spare, massive 30 count, keeps him in his match against Mark too. Good. That's huge. So that's 895, I think, to 838. So with it, like so about 60 pins difference, 57 if you want to get down to the number, and they each got, or Okanagan has only got 2 spares, and then Bombers have 2 strikes and a spare, or the double at the bottom is a huge difference maker.
I sent them a stop to refresh that Bombers camera.
Well, hopefully their scoreboard will update, and at least we'll see that. Unless they both froze. It's the same time they froze last time. I'm telling you, Tim has got a hex in the 9th frame. Oh, what did DB do? What graphic is this? Looks like a home run.
You should know.
Nope, corner pin. So a left corner. So we had Allen spare his corner. So actually after 9 right now, well, depending if DB can pick up his spare, he'd actually have a 2-pin lead going into the 10th frame in the leadoff spot. And Yvonne here can throw a strike as well. Yes, she does. Keeps her in her match. She maxes out at 249, so it would force Aaron to get a mark somewhere. Oh, DB did get his spare, so he'll have a 2-pin lead going into the 10th frame against the Chris/Allen duo. Drew, that was a bomb. Big 30 count for total. So here we go. We got Okanagan with a spare and 2 strikes. Going down the line here in 9, also known as the Foundation Friends for our new friends at bowling.
Oh, and there's the camera back up and running.
There we go.
And we had Aaron get a strike there too. So Aaron kind of keeping up with Yvonne. So like I said, Yvonne maxes out at 249. So Aaron's sitting at 213. So still doable.
Shot for Sean.
Bailey, he gets the late pull.
Doesn't count it. They're going to need a score correction there.
Yeah, so that'll kind of clinch. Well, I'm not going to say clinch because anything can happen still. We all know Heidi's capable. So still in his control, though. So good half. So it looks like the Bombers are keeping up with the marks here at least. So if they can keep it up, if everybody marks down the stretch, it would be a 50-60 pin lead going into the last frame, and everybody will be on mark. So there'd be a very exciting 10th frame, and there's a lot of these matches that are still very close as well. So, oh, here's Heidi staying alive. So that was a little bit of a miss from Mike. So see if he can just get his spare here to keep that clean 9th frame for the Okanagan Eclipse there. Keeps it clean. So marks all the way down. Exactly what they needed to do.
That's a big one. This is a big shot here by Mark.
And this
right?
and this is a 45 pin shot right here, right? So that would bridge the gap in total.
Oh, and a head pin for Mark on his double. Looking at a 990 to like 950-ish after the frame.
This is still a big shot here, like to get that 10, right? So you still want that double count there. So that gets them to like 950. So they're only down like 40 pins in total, and they'll be down a mark going into 10. So still very close. And he's got to keep it close for his match too, because he's not totally out of it either. So
no, I mean, stranger things have happened, right?
Oh yes. I think we've all
right.
experienced enough to know that if you can be within 15 pins or 20 pins going into the last frame, anything is possible.
Yeah. All right. So see Alan finish up here with Daryl.
Yeah. So this is a 2-pin game here. So it could go either way. Alan, is that a bomb? Kind of froze there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. DB.
The battle of the spares or the subs, right?
Bench. Yeah. The bench going at her here. And that's, again, huge for total, right? Especially after Allen throws. Obviously, DB probably didn't even see it because he looked to be on the lane at the same time. But just, again, one of those dynamics in the Pro League, right? Do you watch the guy go ball for ball, or you just rip and go for it?
Oh, hangs a corner.
Corner, so he'll max out at 211. So DB can shut him out here with a corner pin, basically, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or just throw a bomb and it'd be over. Oh, did Allen get a spare? Allen gets a spare for 211. So DB needs it for the win. Yeah.
And there was a tie in the last game with the
Rock and Rollers there, yeah. And the Venom. Does he get it? Yes, sir. There you go.
That's a big point. You never know when, 9 games down the road if you need that point, right? So
yeah, just ask the Ryder Cup teams about those half points, right? It makes a big difference. Yeah. So the good win for DB coming off the bench there, helping out Steve. Yvonne with the strike. That keeps got to keep Aaron honest here, kind of thing, right? So
yeah, and most importantly, keeps your bottom still winning, right? That's the
And
key at this point.
yeah, total is huge, right? Oh yeah, they got like 60 pins right now, right? So big shot for Aaron here too, and the Bombers, great shot. So that'll kind of clinch the point for Aaron there in the 2-hole, and everything else is just for totes.
A little bit of a miss there.
75. So yeah, another 45 more pins here for Aaron. All of a sudden, that match turns in within a ball the whole term, right?
Yeah, because this is they count 30 on this next ball, right?
Yeah.
Good spare for Yvonne though. Yeah.
224. So we have 1,085 over on the Eclipse side to 1028 after the first. Well, I guess the second bowler's not done. Aaron's not done yet, but.
Oh, big shot from Aaron. Big 30 count there to get them to 1058. And then Drew punches in the 3-hole there for Okanagan. Uh-oh. To be getting interesting here. Aaron throwing the highest game of the day so far, I believe. I don't think we saw anything over 270 last game.
I don't think so, no. And a
Going
head pin for Drew. So that's going to make that match pretty interesting because with the spare working over for Sean, he can get up to
262.
262, hey?
Yeah, so he's got 75 left after the 187, so he's still alive.
And that's such big wood. You only count 7 in the 10th, right? So that's even a huge problem for the bottom too, right?
Yeah, well, they still have the 2 marks going, so they still have that advantage. Mark having that hit pin in 9 kind of affects things, but now they're a bowler ahead now, right? That's another dynamic of the pro league kind of thing. Is Okanagan looking to just go post a number? They're just sticking to their rhythm kind of thing, right? Are they even watching? I don't know. Sean, big shot.
Corner for
big strike.
Woof, it's getting
getting
close here.
That's what I'm.
So he needs a double to get the individual point, because if he goes spare here, he only gets to 247, so he'd actually lose by 1. But that's again, Drew kind of going with that 7 count in 10 is obviously really opening up the door for Sean.
Big spare for them there.
And Bailey kind of with a count here on his next shot can shut out Heidi.
Oh, and his head pin there. So even with a side, that point's going to go to the Eclipse.
Yep.
So my gut feeling right now is I can see Heidi at least throwing a double in 10 here. Just who she is, I just have a huge feeling that she's going to throw a double.
Do you think Mike holds back to see what Heidi does, so it can kind of go anchor, or do you think he just goes?
I think you go with the rhythm. I don't think
so. Bailey just shut out Heidi with that strike, so that'll be 2-2, and then Mike's just going. He's just going, but this will come down to total though. So here Heidi with 1 shot here can get a big 30.
Oh, she
big
throws
30,
double.
And Mike misses. Holy moly!
This total just got super close.
I think it's in the Bombers' hands now, right?
I don't know.
Heidi throws the next one. All of a sudden,
1154. Sorry for the Eclipse.
1154. Yeah.
54. Okay. So yeah, like Tim was saying, like Heidi's next shot is a 30-pin shot, right? So they can almost take the lead. So, whew.
Right. I mean, she can have 1175,
and
then Mark can actually strike out, win his match, because Mike can only max out at 263 with a good big shot here. So he could be playing for the individual point. And holy.
So 1169 is what the Eclipse is going to finish with.
Yeah. So either way, it's in the Bombers' hands here now.
Oh yeah. It's actually super advantage Bombers, especially Heidi can get to 1160 right now, with 1 shot.
Yeah. It might not be in Mark's hands other than for his own team.
But Sherwood Bowl is currently icing the Bombers again.
All right. I may not have texted my boys and tell them to tangle up some pins up. Yeah.
So again, just proof that Heidi kind of staying in the game could be Captain Clutch again and giving them a real good shot at gaining total here with a big 9-10. Even though she's mathematically out of her individual match, these pins matter.
Big shot here. This is exactly what Heidi loves.
Look at DB rocking at the stand there. He knows. Elf bomb.
Massive strike coming in clutch for the
Called
Bombers.
it.
She did all
Called it.
last
Yeah.
season.
Absolute bomb. Timmy calls it with a double and 10, which will give total to the Bombers.
We will. And the crazy thing about the whole thing here is if Bonnie was in and able to play,
would she have played? Yeah.
Heidi probably would not have finished 9-10.
No, she probably would have got pulled for sure.
Yeah.
Probably in like frame 6 or 7.
So going into the rest of the season, does Heidi ever get pulled?
I think she does.
Look at this. There you go. Another corner
Great
for good measure.
finish by Heidi.
Takes total.
Yeah.
So now we need Mark. Now we need Mark for a double here to take his point over Mike. So still an extra point to figure out here. See what Mark does. Well, it's an exciting finish. Not big, massive scores, but nice close finish. Heading down to the last couple bowlers in 10. So
Yeah. And the Bombers with a couple of split scores, right? Like first game they had 5-3 win as well. This one could potentially be another 5-3. I know it's probably not, and it will be 5-3. So definitely not what they were hoping to come out their first week with only 10 points. I mean, yes, it's 2 wins, which is what you want to see, but not quite as commanding of wins as the Bombers have been used to in previous seasons.
But again, they didn't bowl to their caliber as well. So they know that there's a lot left out there to go into, a pro league match and shooting, like a small 12 and an 11-80 to come out with 2 wins. You almost got to be happy with that because you didn't play well.
That's right.
They got to consider themselves lucky as well that they got 2 wins in all honesty. So.
For sure.
So they'll be back. They'll go back to the drawing board and figure things out. But a little bit no big massive scores, but a couple wins for the Bombers, defending champs.
That's right.
Yeah,
We'll bring in Bailey here. I don't see Lynn yet, but when he comes in, we'll bring him in as well. But Bailey, how are you guys feeling after that first game there?
It was pretty close. Like we made a lot of spares, and we as a team we functioned well together, but we definitely had a few frames where definitely swayed the balance of things. But I mean, we kept it right down to the 10th frame, right? So
that's right.
They had a really good 10th frame as a team. So
yeah. Oh, looks like Lynn is here. We'll add him into the conversation as well. It's just about.
Hey, Lynn's coming here. Hang on.
Perfect. And then Bailey, is that gonna, as you guys move into the next game, are you guys gonna do anything in that break?
Hello, guys. Hello, guys.
I think. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
I think we'll take a look at the lineup. We just finished, so we're kind of just a little decompressing after that, and then
for sure.
Yeah, great start. And it was a tight match, so from a viewership standpoint, was entertaining to say the least. But obviously, there's probably some score could probably be a little bit better from both sides. I think we can all agree on. But to squeeze out 3 points, it's not the worst thing.
Almost 4, so
almost 4-4. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that would have been super interesting. But good start from the Bombers side. Another. Sorry, Katie, go ahead with the transition.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say, Lynn, so you guys finished your day 10-6. Yep. So 2 wins, maybe not quite as commanding of wins as you would have hoped, but how are you guys feeling after your first 2 matches?
Well, I wasn't sure we were going to come back there after our sluggish start. Again, lots of head pins. We got to be a little better at that, but at the end we showed our savvy and our composure, and we finished strong. Got a break with a couple of their shots in the 9th frame. I thought gave us a little bit of a chance, and we took advantage of it. So kudos to us for that, and we'll take 2 wins. Wins are wins.
Wins are wins. That's right.
Yeah.
So we're going to continue on. Congratulations, Lynn, on the 2 wins today.
Yeah.
And Bailey, we will see you after the commercial break to get started on match number 3.
Yeah.
Good luck, Bailey. Hey, give me a call again sometime, okay, Bailey?
Sounds good.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brewhouse, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place people want to be.
All right. We are back for the last one. We're still, cruising along, a little behind schedule, but we have just one match left to go. We'll bring in our managers here, Bailey Lawson from the Okanagan Eclipse and Jeff Wilson from the Calgary Carnage.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, guys. Hey, Bailey. How are you?
Not too bad.
Both of you have one match behind you here going into the second match of the day. How's the team feeling? They just kind of had an hour-long break. Were you guys throwing in the break, just kind of sitting back watching the last match? How was things there?
Yeah, we chilled out and kind of hung out and whatever, and now we're setting up to go into this next match. Everybody's throwing some balls now and getting ready to go.
Nice. Bailey, how are you guys? You guys just finished, so you're going straight into a second match?
Pretty good. We're feeling good. We kept that match really close, and unfortunately, the other team just finished really strong, so can't do much about that. But we're still feeling good and made only one change in the lineup, so we're going to be starting Trevor lead over Chris. But other than that, it goes Yvonne, Drew, myself, and then Mike. So
Nice.
with Alan and Chris on the bench.
And still no option for the female pull. Jeff, what are you guys doing for lineup over here?
Yeah, so we did some changes a little bit. We're going to start with Brad again, and then Curtis, Tracy, Carrie, and Kelsey. And then we're going to have Rob and Derek on the bench. We've got Bobby here today. Unfortunately, he tweaked his back yesterday, so we're going to give him a break. And feel bad at not being able to play him, but he's here supporting us. So kudos to Bobby for being here.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we're going to jump right into the match and get you guys going here. Good luck to both of you in the second match for you.
Awesome.
All right. Good luck, Bailey.
Good luck, Jeff.
Good luck, teams.
right, so we are ready to go with the Okanagan Eclipse and the Carnage. I think they're just getting started here. Curtis is up on the lane.
Curtis is still practicing, I think, because Brad's lead off. So,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
but yeah, two teams that have played today already. So it's their second games, and both coming off 5-3 losses to the Bombers. So one of these teams is going to get their first win. Well, today, anyways, or one of these teams is going to win. So it'd be huge for the standings to get that win, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice for all the other teams in the division when like the teams just beat up on each other. You know, like when Team A beats Team B and then Team B beats Team C. And
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what people think about like the 5-3 splits, right? Because then even if you win like 6-2, you're only gaining like 1 point or 3 points, or it's at the end of the day, I guess you just want to win. So
yeah,
it's better than a 6-2 loss, but I mean 5-3 is only you feel like you left some on the table with a 5-3 sometimes.
we don't like we're Canadians. This is a Canadian game. We like to be nice, so we like to just share the points.
Yeah,
keep it friendly. What I really like is the I don't know if you guys have noticed this, whatever, but they're like the history channel or like the history like Facebook page posted like a little thing on 5-Pin Bowling, and that page has like 50 million people that follow it. So I think it'd be a good opportunity for a lot of people to share that post and stuff like that, because there's 50 million people that are watching.
We should maybe just share our 5PL link in there. I shared that. I shared that page. It was pretty cool when I saw it. Yeah. So
yeah, I put a comment on the last day. There was another one that was posted too that was shared a bunch, and I tagged like all the the WCBT and stuff like that, saying, "Hey, like we're still alive and well. Thank you very much." And like check out the professional side of things.
Yeah.
Go check out these pages, kind of thing. So. Anything that can gather, you never know who's watching, right? And a page that has 50 million views, maybe all you need is one set of eyes to hit it. And they'll be like, hey, this looks kind of cool.
Yeah. All you need is one, right? Let's get a little break in there, right? So
yeah, we're lucky to have a lot of great sponsors on board already that support various events and tournaments and tours and stuff like that. So we obviously can't thank them enough. But we're also we're always looking to take that next step, right? So it's fun, and everybody's done a good job to help grow the game over the last several years.
Yeah,
a little bit of a messy 12 there for Drew. There was a late falling 2-pin, but then he missed the spare shot.
Yeah, it's always a feeler thing, right? At the beginning of the game, kind of thing. It's like, you just don't want to go like a 5-hole hole or something like that, whatever. But it's it always takes a few frames, then you kind of get an idea as to kind of where you stand in the match, and then you can get the juices going. It's obviously ideal to you want to start hot, kind of thing, for the team and for yourself, but it's always a little slow in the first few frames.
Yeah.
Is there a point in your guys' bowling when you start off a game a certain way or do something a certain way that your game's going to be good, or your day of the tournament's going to be good? Like for me, if I pick up a chop spare and I spare it within like the first 4 frames of the day or 4 frames of the game, I was like, okay, this is going to be good. Like you just have a feeling, because I struggle with chop spares.
I think for me, when if I'm on the middle and let's say I leave a left corner pin frame 2, leave a right corner pin frame 3, if I spare both of those, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on. I got those lines down pat today.
If me, I do it right in practice. If I practice well, I'm going to have a terrible day. If I have a terrible practice, then I'll tend to bowl better.
Usually that's how it works, eh? And so when you shot your perfect game, how was your practice?
I don't remember.
Obviously, it wasn't very good, right?
My perfect game was it was like the middle game, so I don't really know. I think I shot like a 300 the first game, and it's a match play league, and I lost. So I was all pissed off that I had lost 300, and I was bowling my buddy Sam. And then the second game, I clearly just let my frustrations out, and he was not happy with it. But it was just interesting. Yeah, I don't remember that day in practice. Like I said, it's league too, but I'm talking tournaments. Like when I bowl in a tournament, and I'm like, oh crap, this feels too easy. You're just bowling really well. You can't miss a pin. you're practicing your pinning and stuff like that, practicing your throws, and you're just nailing everything, and you're hitting the side of the pocket. Everything feels good. It's like, yeah, it's going to be bad.
It's going to be one of those days. Yeah.
The worst.
Did you?
I don't know. You guys know Perry Gillum at all? Perry stopped bowling like 10 years ago, but Perry was a hell of a player out of many different provinces, and he was with us in Bolton Shire Park for a few years. And for some reason, he always told me doubles are the worst start you can have in bowling.
That's what I said.
Yes.
If you get a double and you don't get the third one, you're gonna have a terrible game. You're gonna have a terrible game.
Because you're already just like, oh, this is gonna be a good game, and start, so you really have to manage that third shot.
But I love when you start a game with like 4 in a row, and then you know that like even if you mess everything up in like 8, 9, 10, it doesn't matter because you already have such a foundation that like you're still gonna get to 2.5. It's nice.
That's great for all our viewers out there to hear that.
Start with a 4-bagger, coast to 230.
Yeah, you're probably gonna throw at least one more strike in that game somewhere. So,
well, you'd be surprised. I mean,
yeah, fair.
I had a 5-bagger on Thursday and I shot 280. I was like, wow, that's a great one. It wasn't even a finish; it was right in the middle. So, I mean,
wow,
yeah,
we can't all be good like you, Timmy.
No, I'm playing like Katie Rayner.
That's fair. Over on our other stream at the halfway mark, Trash Panda is 634 to Lumberjacks 558. So Lumberjacks again this game coming out not as strong as everybody predicted. That team you guys talked about on podcast, maybe the most underachieving team at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest way of saying it. Hey, question, is Max playing?
I don't know. I don't have it up. I just getting updates. So
let me pull it up.
Drew walks away.
Yeah, he had that back turn before that ball was halfway down. He knew.
Brad Wilton there, a little struggle to start here. Oh. See, that's all. It's, again, one of those things where you have an hour break in between games. Could take you a few frames to get back at it too. So
sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, and they were coming off a 5-3 split, which I think they were probably happy with, kind of thing, with the way the game kind of went on there. So Curtis there trying to redeem himself. I think he came off the bench last game. Didn't throw great, so starting with a double here. Hopefully get the team going. Yeah. And hopefully doesn't pull the Perry Gillum thing there. So
yeah.
Oh, no Max. Cindy says no Max today.
Makes sense. I can understand why. Okay.
Oh, Bailey doesn't get the push on the spare. So thought he was going to kind of have that start like he did last game where it was just.
Kept it clean, right?
Kept it clean, lots of spares, nothing huge, nothing run together, but misses that spare in frame 2.
Bailey has
spare.
Bailey has good fingers on the ball, but with the way his release is, he can get really pushy, right? And that's where maybe you leave the 8 count sometimes.
Yeah. All right, Mike looking to get the double into the second frame here, get his team going again.
The Okanagan here could have had a 4-mark frame here, but punch there from Mike. And Carey came off the bench last game to come and steal his points. So, he's trying to obviously continue that momentum, but off to a little bit of a slow start with the head pin in the first frame, with a split in the first frame, and a little pitch out there. A little fuzzy there, but I think he missed that one too as we get a refresh. So 3 marks for Okanagan. Bottom 2 there, keeping it open, but Bailey still technically has a lead over Carey, and depending what Kelsey does here, Mike is still well within his match, only 2 frames in, of course. So still lots of room for everybody to bump up these scores. We need big scores here, hopefully.
Kind of been the theme of the day. Those first 2 frames have been really slow starts, and then things start to turn on frame 3 and 4.
Our score to beat is what, 12-13 or something like that, which was from the Bombers.
Not like super
high. Not when you have the Bombers, the Carnage, and even the Eclipse, whatever. Like you expect any team in here probably expects to shoot like you're probably aiming at 12-50 minimum kind of thing to try to win some games kind of thing, right? So the fact that we only got 12-13 so far. The scoring hasn't been great, but at least the matches have been somewhat close. So entertaining for our viewers.
Right.
and maybe gives hope to the average pros that they might actually have a chance. So, I love you, Henry, and Sue. Big 15.
You should, Al, you should fly in and be their emergency spare at one point.
It's been discussed. No,
Jesus.
I'm kidding.
I think the average pros have lined up like 15 emergency spares.
They're very well liked out here, so I don't
They
think they
are.
have an issue trying to find a sub.
Henry made sure to tell me on Thursday night that they put an average pros advertisement on the lane guard on lane 1 where the Dream Crushers play to make it the average pros lane.
Curtis didn't like that one out of the hand there. There you go. The Perry Gillum theory. Let's see if it happens here. I hope not.
Yeah, well, if not, we found something, I think, or he found something.
Well, I am not the only. I've heard that as well. So it's definitely true. But hopefully Curtis can prove us wrong.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no.
Curtis, blame Perry or Tim for bringing it up.
That's definitely not me. Yeah. I will say though, that lane shield, it's easily to be moved. It's all on clips, so
Yeah.
wherever they bowl, they can just take the shield and move it somewhere else.
Whenever the Dream Crushers bowl?
Yeah, we will. And same as when the average pros playing the same time as us, and it'll be like that. So
Perfect.
So after 3, the first couple matches are kind of split with the Carnage and the Eclipse there. So nothing crazy going on. Drew with a double, so hopefully trying to get the bottom. Bailey and Mike kind of to follow suit, and no marks from the Carnage as well in this frame so far. Hopefully Tracy can spare this up, keep her match close with Drew. Great shot.
All right. Bailey liked that one, but didn't quite get enough to get the corner pin to go.
If Bailey's hit the right pocket with his ball kind of going left to right like that, you would think that would be the more common. That's why I was asking about pocket shots earlier, kind of thing. Like, what's Bailey's like preferred pocket? He seems to always try to be on the right hand side, but I think he would blow through on that right hand corner all the time.
physics. Yeah, you're
Physics.
right. Yeah.
Carry,
I just
split. Yikes.
Oh, almost spares it looks like.
I just think with Bailey when he's playing up the left side, but he's angled on the he angles across. So
that's what I'm saying, right? He goes he starts from the left, and then his ball moves left to right.
Yeah,
so you're hitting that. He's hitting that. Seems to be hitting that right pocket more. You think that he a lot of blow throughs on the right. So I don't know if he's aiming on the left pocket or if he has a preference. I don't know.
And I know that Okanagan usually have the sound on, so maybe Bailey, if you want to adjust that for the next 7 frames, it might be an opportunity for you to score a little better.
That's why we need mic'd up players, so we can ask them these hard-hitting journalistic questions in the middle of a match, so we can know what's going on, kind of thing, right? What's their train of thought? Like, what are they trying to do right now? What pocket? What angles are they throwing? What balls are they throwing? Do they make a ball change?
Oh, great spare by Kelsey.
Takes the lead in her match. So 3 marks or 2 marks and a double for the Eclipse and 2 spares for the Carnage.
Let's see if Trevor gets started here again. Brad must be on a short leash here too, probably. I'm guessing.
Who do the Carnage have on the bench?
Dobbs and Wolfson, probably.
Yeah, Rob. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they got 2, and then the Eclipse got 2, right, as well. So you got Alan and
Alan
and Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good shots from the leadoffs there, trying to get the team going into 4-5 before the commercial break. Vaughn answers. Chris, another pitch out there.
Oh, looks like we're getting a refresh maybe on the camera. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it.
Oops. So I feel like that Lisa is also getting a little bit shorter at this point.
I don't know if I was them. You have three guys that are. I mean, nobody's blowing anybody out of the water.
Yeah, this is another kind of dynamic too, right? When you got, with Brad with 36 after 3, Curtis starts off hot, but now he's sitting at 75, kind of behind the 8 ball here with Yvonne strike and 4, so he's kind of trailing his match. It's like, you got 2 pulls. What do you do?
Yeah. So in looking at that, would you be starting to make a pull like now in the 4th frame? Are you giving them a little bit more time? Like what's kind of
with 2 pulls, I would probably get one in
now
sooner than later kind of thing. And then because there's like that Yvonne Curtis match is close, but like Curtis has been kind of like way out. Like he went 5-hole 5, and then he went 5 left, 5 right, missed the middle entirely.
Yeah.
So like, he's clearly kind of fighting something, and then in the 4-hole there with Carey, like he goes 8-8 and then kind of a crappy frame in between, but he's only 20 pins back in his match. He throws a strike here. Like he's right back in there. So like,
I think it really matters what Carey does here. If Carey opens up or if he doesn't have anything sparable, right?
Even the next shot, like for Brad and 5 there too, right? Like he's down 15. They're both on strikes.
Yeah.
But Brad, like he like when you go 3-5 hole and 5-8 miss, like they weren't very good frames there. He's got one good shot basically. So
yeah,
they're all kind of the same boat. I think just from feel wise. I think
he pointed at that one too, so that's concerning to me. Like he pointed at that, like he liked it. The Kerry Snyder point,
good shot, yeah.
And then you get a chop off, so it's like that's a sign to me that it's like, okay, he liked that and he didn't score, so it's like I don't know. If he doesn't spare this, I would pull a hook here. Maybe that's my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a pro by any means of this stuff, so
Coach Tim would know best. I get him
and then he cheers
right now.
Okay. See that yes, a consensus call from the commentators.
We're all on the same page.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Jeff is listening or if Jeff is see what he's going to do. Yeah,
I think the way the girls are playing, I know Kelsey had a bad 9-10, but that's I think a different circumstance last game. I think you keep Tracy and Kelsey in.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them need to come out at this point. Both of them are getting their spares when they can. They're both, hitting the middle. Well, I guess not exactly hitting the middle, but they're grinding out their games compared to those 3 boys in the match.
They're keeping it clean, right? They're getting their spares. If they're pitching out spares, at least they're getting their marks. And Tracy's had a 28 count and a chop count on her spares at least. So she's sitting at 88. She's a pin ahead of her match. So you got to leave her in.
Just open my messages. Rob is Gary going in for
Rob is in
for guys, we're pretty good, aren't we? Eh?
We are.
It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
I mean, Jeff did give him one more ball than we all would have given him, but
that's again what we talked about earlier. I think when he did the pulls in the last game, like he led the bowler, finished a full frame, and then let them go in. Yeah. For the full frame, right?
I don't know what Jeff's. I haven't actually watched Jeff a whole lot when it comes to the Open. Jeff is a hell of a coach. But I have never seen him actually see when he makes his pulls, right? So I don't know if that's just because of the Pro League or what's going on with that. I assume Jeff has a reason for everything because he's top
he's
notch.
Very on top of things like that. I mean, I had him as a coach for Masters this year where obviously there's no pulls, so I didn't get to see that kind of dynamic of his coaching, but you can tell he's always thinking about things. He's always thinking about where the game is at. So if he's not making the pull in the middle of the frame, there's probably a reason for it.
Mm-hmm. Now, don't quote me on this, but did he? I don't know if he actually bowled. Like I think him and Pam met separately.
He used to play, but his competitive days, he says, are kind of behind him as a bowler. Yeah. So now he focuses his time in on the coaching side of it. But he's a hell of a coach. Yeah.
Sort of like Des, right? Des has decided to do the coaching more than the playing, right? So
Yeah, Des only comes out for like maybe a family twosome every once in a while with the boys when they were still in YBC. So it's been a while. Corner for Yvonne.
So that was the only mark for the Carnage was a Brad strike, and he opens up on it. So he's sitting at 79 after 5. So
I'm the
not
Carnage.
ideal.
The commercial break cannot come fast enough.
Oh yeah, these guys. Curtis got to try to get the team going here, and then try to find the side of the middle or find the middle here. Curtis, the last couple frames, been a little bit of a struggle there. So yeah, the team needs a spark, needs something for sure.
Now, if Curtis were to miss again here, is this where you're looking at your second pull?
Well, between this and Brad, like it's got to be one of those two because
he got pulled.
You got yanked there. So now they're going in. Now they're going into the break with after the break they'll have no more pulls. They've done their 2 pulls now.
Yeah.
But just how quick it can change like that, right? You start with a double, and then 3 frames later, or 2.5 frames later, not even you're out of the game.
Yeah. I think you have to make this choice though. You know, the Carnage is not a team that you would expect to have 390 in the 5th frame. Something needs to change. They need to change momentum. I think it's a good idea to do both their pulls right now and just completely change things up.
Yeah, and then this way, guys aren't worried about it anymore, too, or girls, whatever. They're not worried about getting pulled, right? They're just it's like, hey, finish your game, you're in.
Right. Yeah. The ones who don't get pulled can just settle in and like cruise now, and hopefully the new ones that are coming in can kind of just change the energy and change the dynamic on the lane to get something going here, because 400 in the 5th frame is not what you would typically see from a team of this caliber.
Yeah. And like they're not even out of it. Like they're only 60 pins back, right? But at least Okanagan's got a few marks up there, so it's obviously advantage Okanagan at this point. But we all know the caliber of the bowlers that are on the Carnage here, so we know they can probably turn on a switch. But they seem like they're in a little bit of a lull or something right now. So hopefully they can turn a switch, or like you said, get through that commercial break, and hopefully Jeff can just ream into their ears or something like that, get them going.
Right. That was a great strike by Tracy to try to get something going at the bottom here, so they at least have some momentum going into the second half of this game. Bailey punched the head pin over on the Eclipse side, and then Mike leaves a corner pin.
Good guy, Rob, off the bench with a strike.
That's what you want to see from your bench players, someone who's just coming in, throw in the strike right away, get that momentum changed.
Exactly, and that strike puts him right back in that game with Bailey too, right? So if he counts 30 or gets a double, whatever, he's kind of basically tied with him. So there you go. And that's a little bit of fire there too. Yeah.
Exactly, the end of that lineup. So over on the Eclipse side, they've got a couple spares working, 1 strike, 501 going into the second half. And over on the Carnage, they have that 3 strikes in a row at the bottom of their lineup, 445 going into the second half. So we'll come back and see what happens.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brewhouse, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place people want to be.
All right, back for the last 5 frames. See how these teams come out of the commercial break. I'm kind of hoping that both teams just come out and like start stringing a bunch of strikes together. Let's get some.
Yeah, we need some strikes to finish off my day here.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can see some good bowling here. It's been a little bit of struggle from a score standpoint, but at least we've had some close matches. So
Yeah. Like, have we seen 4 in a row yet today?
well, I've said handbone a couple times in the first match, I think, but nothing more than that.
That might have been while I was stressing.
could very well be. But yeah, it's like I said, when you have our high game is not even a 300 with the caliber of bowlers that we have, and our high team total being 1,200 and change. Every other game's been under 1,200, so scoring hasn't been ideal. But that's just to show, these guys are pros. They can have off days just like everybody else.
Exactly.
You got to find a way to win in those situations, and that's what the Bombers were able to do today with their first 2 games. They were able to grind out some wins, and that could be a huge difference in the final standings at the end of the year.
For sure. So we have an open frame up at the top for Eclipse. Carnage has come in, marks in frame or in first and second bowler. So they're keeping that run of marks going here that they started in the 5th frame. Hopefully they'll be able to continue that as we keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Big strike over on the other side there. So still has the lead working with the Eclipse.
Yeah, big shot for Yvonne there. Takes a 23-pin lead with a strike versus a spare. So, but at least after Curtis got pulled, Derek was able to come in, get a mark.
Another big over on that Eclipse side.
So yeah, Okanagan's been getting a few marks. They had 4 marks in 4. They had 4 marks in 5. So they're kind of getting into that 4-mark average. Usually a team tends to be or wants to be at. So. Getting some marks under the scores is huge, and you can see it in the difference in total right now. They're up to an 80-pin lead, so they're doing what they need to do, and like all their matches are close too. Like nobody's out of it. They got a lead or real close in every match. So, coach is probably not really looking at doing too many pulls at this point because they seem to be playing well.
Yeah. Another big strike from Robbie off the bench.
And again, he's trying to be that little spark plug, right? You get a little bit of emotion from Robbie there with the double coming off the bench and throwing that fist pump back to Kelsey to hand the baton back over to her kind of thing and try to get a nice frame coming out of the break here, get 4 marks, potentially a couple doubles going in. So,
yep. Eclipse had a great frame 6. They have 4 strikes, one of them being on a double. So they've got a lot to work with going into frame 7.
Yeah, so the Carnage is kind of doing it for themselves to try to get their momentum going, but then you look across the board there, and the Eclipse are doing the exact same thing. They'll be up, almost 100 pins. Another chop cherry.
Get that.
You guys, I was gonna say, do you guys sell out of those shirts yet, or?
I think there's still more. Look for them at the Autumn Open.
Oh, there you go. Preview. Any new swag coming out at the Autumn Open?
There's 50th anniversary swag specifically for the Autumn Open.
There you go. Nice.
And then I think there is some new designs on some shirts, and there'll be the usual hoodies and things there from what I understand. So
bring your money, folks.
Bring your money. There's lots of things. A little bit of miss up there.
Little pull from Trevor there.
Oh,
Head pin over for Brad. So that match is still anyone's game.
Still anyone's game. Trevor will have a little bit of a lead, but not much. Hopefully he can spare this. There you go. A better shot. Brad's struggling. He's only got 2 hits after 7 frames. He got the strike and the 2, and he's 100% on middle hits. Lesson is hit the middle. Sorry, you got a hit pin in 7, so he's 2 for 3 now. But it's a little bit of a grind seeing these guys. Like these are all guys that I've watched for a long time, and you guys have watched. And it's like, don't expect to see Brad Wilton with 108 and 7 very often.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just shows everybody that it can happen to anybody. Yvonne. It's crazy. Crazy. Okanagan playing really well, taking advantage of their marks, taking advantage of other teams' kind of struggles. Even like with Brad getting that head pin, that spare from Trevor is huge.
All right.
Another turkey. 3-bagger from Drew. 2 doubles working now.
All right. So the other feed there, they just finished. I just hopped on to see what it was. Trash Pandas are winning and won this match 5-3 over Lumberjacks, like 1280 something to 1200 something.
All right, Tracy, another shot there. Quebec with another loss. That's 4 games in, and I think they only have 1 total win, I think, so far.
Yeah.
So I like the Quebec guys. So they support everything. They go everywhere.
They're phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah. And we say they're the most underachieving team just because they're that good. It's not a bad thing. They're just so good.
Maybe it's just the format. I don't know, right? Here's the update right here. Cindy, throw it up there. I'll throw it up there. Trash Pandas 1287 to Lumberjacks 1226. Yeah.
So Robbie just got right back into that game. Even with his head pin in 7 there, he can actually be like tied. He can actually take the lead. Takes 5 here. There you go.
Yep.
Took the lead. Off the
Well,
bench. Off the bench with 3 frames, and you take over the lead. So he's done his job there anyways. That's all you can ask for, I guess, right?
Oh, and a head pin over there on the Eclipse.
So back-to-back head pins for Bailey and Mike there. Kind of they were ready to post up a huge frame. I think they could have had 4 doubles going into 8 there. So slowed down a little bit, but still clearly advantage Okanagan here.
Yeah.
They'll be up about 100 there after Kelsey's head pin in 7 herself. So they'll be down. Okanagan will be up 100. They'll have 2 doubles.
Marks, yeah.
So big advantage Okanagan. So we'll see what they can do on their doubles there from Yvonne and Drew. But there's still some individual matches like Kelsey picking up her 15, 143. She's only down 18. Carrie/Rob's only up by 1. So a lot of matches like still up for grabs there.
For sure.
Yeah. So Pam Wilson, Jeff's wife, actually messaged me my answer. So Jeff used to bowl YBC and Masters until while still coaching YBC until the girls were born. Continued coaching mostly with the Open until the last 5 or so years. He started league again this year. 18 years. He started picking up a ball and started bowling again. So good on Jeff.
So he hasn't bowled for 18 years?
I imagine just the fun time here and there.
Yeah, exactly. But no leagues or nothing for 18 years, and he's coming back.
Nothing like that. No.
Nice.
That's great though.
That's amazing for sure. Always nice to see those people kind of come back, right? Come back in the sport, and that obviously shows that they're watching and they want to be part of it again, kind of thing, right? So they got to come back and start bowling a league, and then maybe it'll get to 2 leagues, and then maybe they'll start showing up to these tournaments again. So
yeah,
that's what
it's tough with kids nowadays. Everybody who has kids understands. Like, I know Pam and Jeff always were working around schedules for the kids because kids always came first, right? So that's the kind of people they are. Yeah,
Yvonne.
That was a little heavy, but
it was. Yeah,
she throws a good ball.
She does throw a good ball, and she's been so solid for them.
Derek with another double there to kind of keep it
as close as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you can hope for.
Because he's down like 38 now to Yvonne, but now they both got marks, right? So one of them opens up, it can still get swayed either way. So Tracy here can try to keep her match close as well with another great shot here.
Good. Oh, and punches the head pin.
Thanks.
Oh, and doesn't get the spare over on the Eclipse side. So
doesn't get the spare, but gets the count. And with Tracy's head pin, it's going to be again huge advantage. Drew and Okanagan. You start looking at the pinfall too, 715 to 850, 860 there. So now you're looking at 140 pins.
So
2 frames left, a lot of ground to make up.
I know Alan is usually a guy who comes in kind of to close games off here, right? So Is this might be depending what Robbie does here, mixed in with what Bailey does? Maybe this might be an opportunity.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting to that point where, like, if a pull doesn't happen here in the next, this frame, or maybe even first ball next frame.
Oh, is he getting?
He's walking off.
Oh,
There it is.
Oh, Robbie throws a bomb. There you go. So
Yeah.
that Robbie comes off the bench and takes control, and then Bailey had 3 head pins in those 4 frames that Robbie played. So yikes. But obviously it comes down to total at the end of the points. Great for Rob, but I think that as a team they want to try to bridge that gap in total a little bit. There you go.
And a big strike for Kelsey. So that's a great frame for Carnage. They've got 4 marks going into 9.
Everything's momentum, right? So, I mean, they can capitalize on 9. All of a sudden, it turns into something big.
Yeah, it'll be a big shot for Mike too for Okanagan, right? After Drew and Bailey kind of fall off the wagon a little bit there. You got the top kind of still playing well, holding decent leads in their matches, but going into 9 and 10, you probably want to throw a good shot here, and he's got to stay in his match too, right? With Kelsey getting that strike, he's only up 18, so
He needs to have a good shot here. Oh,
he liked it, I guess.
Oh, a little slider it must have been, because it didn't look like it was like a super bomb of a shot, but
Didn't look like a guarantee anyway. So
no.
he looked like there was a little bit of sense of relief when he got off the lanes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so 747 to like 877-ish.
Yep. That's what I see there too. So Brad can bridge the gap here with another good shot here. Power chop.
Top there.
Still gains a little bit, so he's still going to make a half here, and he's still in his match against Trevor here. So yeah, he looked like he laid down to the right a little bit.
He did, for sure.
And another chopped cherry.
Ben. Get that guy a t-shirt.
Well, that's like 3 of them, I think, that I've seen just on the Carnage side this game. That's crazy. That's why they say chops are one of the toughest spares in bowling for some reason.
Yeah. We clean up head pins all the time, but as soon as it's a chop that we have to spare, it's for whatever reason, a different ball game.
Yeah. But they're only a ball down, really.
Yeah, 16 pins, right? So it's a 30 count's not going to do too much. You'll probably need a double to bridge the gap and hope that Trevor opens or something like that. But
just doesn't get the corner pin to go.
Massive count for total, though.
And a 3 Carnage side. That is not what they would be looking for there.
Yikes, 793 as a team total in 9. Probably not what anybody was expecting.
Oh, 3
Gets the 3 pin spare.
Oh, man. Yeah, you hate to cheer for those things, but I love it.
Yeah.
So that match is going to go to Yvonne. So he maxes out at 258. Yvonne sitting at basically 246 without even throwing a ball. So
yeah,
I've seen crazier things happen, so I apologize. They still have a chance.
Tracy throws a great shot, just doesn't get the corner pin to go.
So she maxes out at 243. So she's going to need this for sure to stay in the match or have any chance.
And she misses.
Just pushed it, yeah.
And total is not, they're not bridging the gap in total, not with just 1 3-pin spare in 9 here. So they're not doing themselves any favors, unfortunately. So it's going to be really tough to make up that ground. It's not impossible, but not ideal. And now we got Alan here kind of fighting it out with Rob now, but Rob can also put a stranglehold on that individual match.
But
that doesn't get the push.
As the matches go on, though, I mean, it's still possible. I mean, say Carnage doesn't win the total, it's still a 5-3, 4-4 is still even up there, right? So, Even
Is
though
it?
well, no, it's not anymore. But 5-3, yeah.
It can be like it can go. I don't want to say it, but like this can go 8-0. This can go 8-0 Eclipse right now.
Yeah, at this point, it is Carnage are going to have to dig something out here at this point.
And the lead off Eclipse, second spot Eclipse already clinched. Drew's clinched. Bailey, he's the one that's kind of trailing right now, but he's still mathematically in. And then Mike with that corner spare forces Kelsey to do something. Like this can go 8-0 or this can.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
Brad and Trevor still have an opportunity to see what they get on that one, right? But
yeah. But it's still in Okanagan's. They're still alive for that 8-0 total. At least Okanagan, they got 4 spares there, 4 corner spares, back to back, like left corner, right corner, right corner, right corner spares. So yeah, definitely did what they had to do, and they put up good counts, right? They had Yvonne had the triple, so he got a big 43 count. Mike 30 counts, so kind of extended their lead a little bit in total there. And now with Kelsey missing that strike, so she'll max out at 173, 248. So Mike has the game in his hands there. If he strikes out, he wins. Another one.
Another
Jeez.
chop cherry.
Unreal. Just not the Carnage's game here. Nobody over 208 and 9, or sorry, maybe Curtis / Derek combo there, but
Kelsey fires that one out. You can see the frustration as she lofts it halfway down the lane.
no, Kelsey does not fire you like that.
So here we go. So see if Brad can try to salvage a point here, or try to get a point on the board for the Carnage. This is one of the matches. So now he's going to max out at 178. So as long as Trevor gets 15, he can shut him out.
All right. Little miss.
Pitch right. Needs a spare.
Doesn't get it. Those chops have not been kind to the Carnage today.
Must be something with Toppler. We'll talk to Stacey about that for sure. You watch the Roses come out, shoot 15-30.
And then Trevor goes 5 hole. So if you told Trevor at the beginning of the game, if you bowled a 164, that he would win his point, he'd probably laugh at you. But here we are.
Hey, he's already at 169.
Yeah, exactly. He only needed 164 to beat Brad.
True, he did only need 164.
He overachieved with 179.
That's the thing about this, sometimes anybody can throw a bad game and pinning out a 179 could win.
And now the Carnage breaks 1,000?
Yes, Carnage will break 1,000. That's my guess.
So Dobbs there, he's mathematically out. So another point for the Eclipse and Yvonne. Yvonne's had a great game there. Like she, 2 head pins, and she'll still, squeeze out a, 260 some game, right? So it's a great game from Yvonne there. And even those corner spares in between all those strikes, like what could have been, right? She could have had a 6-bagger there kind of thing. So great game from Yvonne. Even the first game, she played pretty well there as well. So great showing today for her. Getting another point for the Eclipse there. And Tracy's really out of her match here too. She maxed out at 226. So
so match 3 we know is done as well there. First 3 are going to go to the Okanagan.
Then we'll see if Alan can pull off the win. I think, right? Alan's the one that went in for Bailey in the 4 hole there. So
that 1,000 mark is getting a little bit farther away. With every ball thrown, like that 3 pin and then a head pin, 1,000 is looking a little.
But you look at them; they really haven't not hit the middle. I mean, other than you look at Curtis and Dobbs' game, right?
Yeah,
I
but
know
everybody else.
You're right.
They had just a game of letters. That's kind of what it boiled down to. And even when they were getting strikes, none of them were like really putting any strikes together. There was always like strike head pins.
Yeah. They all have one. They have one double. Double. Dobbs is double. Or Rob had one too. Yeah. Sorry.
Rob had
doubles,
one too,
but or 3 because they had Curtis in the first 2 frames.
Oh, and we proved Perry Gillam's theory right. So
now they'll for sure get to 1,000. There we go, Robbie.
So Bailey's slash Allen's maxes out at 214. So that Rob strike basically not quite yet shut him out yet. I've
Pretty
seen crazier
close,
things. I say that because I think the first time, or one of the first times I ever spoke to Rob was when we're playing at TPC and we're on the same set, I think, or we're bowling side by side when, and that's the year that Rob went like through the pins twice, like back to back.
Oh yeah, I'm 5 and 6.
Yeah.
5 and
Yeah.
6.
He didn't reset after his first shot. He's like, oh, I'm just going to go again. And he throws it at the exact same spot. So he goes gutter in between the pins.
Oh,
I had
I
never
actually
seen
said
that
it.
before.
It's on my feed too. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
We should go back and replay that.
All right.
like
So
my
Kelsey
broom.
needs a mark here, though, to get them to 1,000.
At least Carnage got a point. So let's give the Carnage a point there. So Robbie off the bench comes and gives him a point. And now with Kelsey's miss there, that gives, well, not over yet, I guess. You never know what can happen. But well, Edler's at 206. So if he needs to go like at least like 5-5 to, or even just 5. As long as he doesn't go with.
Oh.
Now it's over. Now it's really over. And the 1,000 sub 1,000. Is that a 5 PL record or what? Not the no.
Next gen last year had like a really low one, 960.
And the pros must have been like 800 at some point too.
Oh my goodness, no way.
995 for the Carnage. We'll just forget about that one for them. We know they're better than that. So.
And over on the Eclipse side, they've taken 7 points. Right now, they're sitting at an 11-17.
If you would have told them they would have bowled 11-17 against the Carnage and taken 7 points, they probably would have taken that as well. So it's they're probably real thankful right now for that. But that's how the game goes. It's how the cookie crumbles, as they say, right?
Exactly. All right, we're gonna pull this out here and bring in our managers. We'll just give them a second. So yeah, like you said, an 11-17 against or 11-20.
Even against any team, you bowl an 11-20, you can't really expect to take 7 points. So
no,
it's and like it wasn't even like really even that close. Like like they had that 150 pin lead kind of set up in like the 7th frame, and they just never really did anything to get into it. So
just no energy.
All right, we're gonna pull in Bailey Lawson here to talk to us from the Eclipse, and Jeff Wilson from Calgary. Oh, he's got a drink in front of him.
To drink. I think I need one after that. We're
we'll start with you, Jeff.
Village here.
Yeah, we'll start over there with you. So obviously not an ideal first week for the Carnage. That last game, you guys were not missing the middle, but just lots of corners, lots of head pins, and never really putting strikes together. There was always like head pins in between strikes, so it wasn't able to get anything rolling.
Yeah, I think we just started so poorly and kind of got behind the 8 ball there, and then we started pressing. And the moment you start pressing, you can throw a good ball, but you're throwing those bricks, and you're going to get nothing but those chops and your chop and cherry and whatever, right? So I think that's really just what it came down to, was just that poor start and just unable to recover and just be able to freewheel out there. So.
It looked like you guys were going to have like that breath of momentum as soon as you made the 2 pulls in the 5th frame, came out of that frame with 3 strikes, started the 6th frame really well, but then the letters came back.
Yeah, they did. And again, I think it just came down to gripping the ball a bit too hard and pressing, trying to get throw that perfect shot instead of just letting it happen.
For sure. Bailey, you guys, throw an 11-20. I'm sure you weren't expecting with a score like that to take 7 points, but maybe sigh of relief over on your side?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's a gift, like, because obviously on the Carnage, like, they have everyone on their team can play, and everyone knows that, and so for us to take 7 with an 1100 is definitely just as shocking to us as it is to them, and I mean, we'll take it, but, like, it's one of those things, it's like, are we happy about how we played? There's highs and lows, but there's definitely lots of room for improvement there.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So you guys end the day with 10 points. Moving into the next round. Are either of you guys playing next week?
No, I think our next
open, and then Masters in Alberta. So we don't have anything the next 2 weeks, but then we're back at the end of October.
We don't play till December, so
okay.
Yeah. So
Important 7 points to take now that you're off till December kind of thing. So
Yeah.
huge number to post up. At least the Carnage. This was your first 2 games, so you'll chalk those up, whatever, put them in the rearview mirror, and then move on to the next 9. Right. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Bailey, so I guess you can mark this up. Okanagan's leading the division. Maybe put that on your first time ever, right? So congratulations on that.
First time for everything, but I mean, like, even last year we had it's almost like we're cursed. It was just like win one, lose one every week, and then we had 1 week where we went 2-0, and that kind of edged us into playoffs. But kind of looking at the point win percentage, I think we're kind of on pace to following a similar pace to how we did last year. So
Sure. Well, thank you guys both. Good luck in the rest of your seasons. Have a couple weeks off to regroup and recharge, and we'll see you guys at Autumn Open. Bailey,
awesome. Yep.
Perfect. We'll see you guys there. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
See you later, guys.
All right. We made it through. Barely, but we did it. Thank you guys both for holding down the fort while we were trying to back end everything and get things up and running again, and rambling on about whatever you were rambling on about. I have no idea.
There should be a disclosure on like the YouTube post or something like that. Please skip like 50 minutes in to like an hour and a half in kind of thing, unless you want to hear Al and Tim ramble about random things.
It was greatly appreciated. It was a pleasure commentating with you guys this week, and we'll see you soon.
You betcha.
Right on. Great work, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cargill is proud to be supporting a truly Canadian sport like 5-pin bowling. We look forward to watching some great competition from many competitors and bowling centers across our country. With hundreds of locations across Canada, Cargill is committed to helping the Canadian farmer thrive. Whether it is selling commodities, getting agronomic advice, fertilizer needs, crop protection, and marketing expertise, Cargill is here to help. So please enjoy this bowling. Thank you.
When you come to the Canadian Brewhouse, you'll feel right at home. We work hard to make our house your house. With an affordable menu of appetizers, entrees, desserts, beverages, and killer deals on daily specials. At our house, you never miss a play. As sports lovers, we've ensured each location includes over 50 TVs and our signature Jumbotron. The Canadian Brewhouse is the place people want to be.